Hello everyone and welcome to this Grand Star Cup D2 semifinals cast. I'm Skopyoshi, I'll be with you for this cast alongside Casper. Hello Casper.
Hello guys.
Alright, and today quite the interesting matchup actually between Vellichor and Lethal Vengeance, both teams having quite a bit of experience, so why don't we go ahead and get started with the lineup presentations right away. We'll start right away with Vellichor. Casper, up to you.
Yeah, so we got 4 pretty strong runners from Vellichor. We got Ken, Sane, Edge, Dane, and B-Boy for today. Ken is a pretty solid runner. I'd say he's definitely one of the best in the div. And followed up with Sane. Both are very experienced D2 players, and they've been around for forever now, but they're all pretty good. They all have experience. And especially with B-Boy, I think one of their better baggers in D2, especially since D2 is still pretty competitive, but B-Boy is one of their best for sure, and I'm sure they'll do well overall.
Yeah, there's probably one of the best ones, obviously alongside Ryan in ZC, who are currently waiting in finals after a pretty dominant showing in D2 so far. And they'll be facing Lethal Vengeance today, another really experienced lineup who have been playing since like pretty much the beginning of the Grand Star Cup. And today the runners for LV are Derek, Ivan, Devil, Psycho, and Ardux bagging. The 4 really consistent runners, Devil, Ivan, Psycho, having played together for years by this point, Derek as well. Ardux, known both for RT and CT bagging. Obviously, we know of the Duck's work, but still, regardless, pretty competent bagger regardless. It'll be interesting to see the bag battle between him and B-Boy. A little interesting tidbit while we wait on the room to start up. Not exactly sure how many are in room just yet, but the matchup between these two teams in the season has resulted in a 1-1. But LV's victory has been by like 94 by a much wider margin. So it'll be really interesting to see how this VO3 goes for both teams.
Yeah, definitely. I'm pretty excited to be watching this. I haven't watched a match in a while, so it's gonna be fun.
Pretty interesting to see how this goes. But yeah, also, I think actually LV's season is really interesting because they barely scraped by 1 bonus point to the 3rd seed, but they have like the 2nd biggest point differential in the div, only 3 points behind ZC at like 278, I believe. So they won by a whole lot, but they still barely scraped by. So they had a pretty inconsistent showing, surprisingly enough. But yeah, we'll see how.
No, definitely, yeah.
We'll see their form going into the match here. I'm not exactly sure how many players are in the room just yet.
I guess another thing we could talk about is with LV's lineup is their IGL. They have Derek, and Derek is like one of their strong players in LV, and they're kind of like the core, like the member piece that LV needs. Derek is like pretty much overall solid player, but also has very good experience with communication. So like with him in general, he's gonna help his team out a lot. And with Ivan too, Ivan's a really strong player. I'm sure they'll be up there a lot. We'll see Devil as well up there with Psycho.
Yeah, but all 4 of those players really capable of just being up there, being the frontal presence that the team needs. You don't really see any clear carries compared to Ken and Sane on VC's side, who, well, Ken's barely missed out on Div MVP by like 0.2, and Sane being pretty close behind at, I believe, around 32 or something along those lines.
And it looks like they have Brody bagging instead of Ardux, so I think honestly this is a better pick for LV, and I think it'll be more even throughout the match. Brody's a pretty experienced bagger as well, and I think it's gonna be close. I'm sure Shotgun will be even. I don't know what Mr. Bean will have to say, but yeah, I think that's what it might happen.
The mighty Mr. Bean always having the last word in this, but yeah, it should be around fairly even. Brody, obviously, one of the most versatile players in the game, both just running and bagging CTs, RTs, a lot of just really experienced players in all aspects of the game, which definitely helps when it comes to bagging.
Oh, definitely. I think, especially in the like higher level wars, having a good bagger is like pretty important. Just because like even if you get shocked, it's like more chance of winning the race, but as well like preventing the other team from getting a big race as well. I think with any good team, they're like more experienced with calling shocks better than like not really like having a plan with like like lower div teams that don't really do that. But it's good to have good baggers in general, like when you play the game.
Yeah, obviously, shock denial becomes a really big part of the game in these higher level wars. Just the fact that you can prevent the other team from having the shock that allows them to get back up into the race if dodges are held or anything. That's a big part in those really high level wars.
Yeah, definitely. I think from my experience, I think having that bagger is like pretty important. It's kind of like the goalkeeper almost. Like you kind of need that goalkeeper. It helps you out a lot.
That's a pretty interesting analogy, actually. I haven't heard that one before, but you're right. They're both really specialty roles that are designed to help out the rest of the team, bring out that safety net, or really bringing those clutch saves that allow them to get back up into the match or war in this instance. Definitely do have a lot more experience than me in that regard, that's for sure. Okay, so we are currently 4 in room. Unfortunately, we'll have to wait at least a little bit longer for the rest of those players to arrive. Any predictions on your end, Casper, in terms of who should take this semifinals match?
Okay, so I'm gonna go with VC. I think VC got this in the bag.
Alright, do you think it'll be a 2-0? Do you think it'll be 2-1? Or are we going all the way?
I think it'll be a 2-0.
Okay, alright, really confident in VC's chances, I see.
Yeah, what about you?
I like it. They do have a really strong lineup in general. Obviously, I do believe LV have the advantage in terms of overall experience with these sorts of BO3's more tense sets, but VC's lineup is definitely really strong, just driving-wise, so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna be a good one.
Actually, I do also want to talk just a little bit while we wait about, obviously, the match tonight is going to play a big role in terms of who ZC fights at the end of the season there. Do you think either of these teams have a shot against ZC, who's been really dominant this season so far, both on the running side and the bagging side?
Yeah, I'd say both teams are able to be in finals. I think there's not really like one team that stands out anyway. I think all 3 of those teams are very good D2 teams. Obviously, there's players that are able to compete in D1 anyways. So I think it's not really like a strong oh, this is like that team that's gonna win it all. But I think either team can make it to the finals.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see either team really showing quite a big performance in finals overall. But yeah, a lot of those players obviously having the D1 experience, having the necessary skills to just make those BO3s really interesting. We do see a lot in lower divs in general. Those BO3s, they can be a lot when it comes to your mental in general, especially if you're down early, or you can maybe get a bit too in over your head and easily lose the lead. But that's not really something you see as much in the higher div. The mental game, these players definitely have a lot more experience in that regard.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of these players have that mental, and it's gonna help them out for sure. But I think besides the mental, like all of these players are pretty good in general. And I think besides the mental, I think they're gonna do well. I think I don't know. It's gonna be one of those matches where I think anyone can do well, not just based on averages, but anyone in general. So we'll see.
Alright, yeah. So thankfully, filling up a lot faster now. B-Boy, yeah, B-Boy's just spot holding real quick. Should get started within the next few minutes or so. Well, obviously, I'm more used to CT casting, so at this point I'd talk about what track is picked. Unfortunately, in RTs it's a lot less variety in that regard.
Yeah, I'm sure VC's probably gonna either pick DDR or Maple. It's mostly just either 2 tracks. Like for the most part, it's not really like kind of like go mountain or summit. I mean, in some cases yeah, but for the most part you'll just see typically a war. Like some team just pick those two tracks.
DDRMT or Sherbet's RBC, the classics. Don't think we'll see any difference in that regard. Should be fine. I believe Ivan's quickly fixing his stream delay from what I'm seeing.
Oh, nice. We get edge POV. That's pretty good. I don't think I've seen an edge POV in a while.
Oh, really? Has it been? Does he not stream that often? I'm genuinely curious to hear that actually.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Is it just a matter of maybe of pressure, maybe something along those lines? Can never. Stream pressure. Yeah.
I don't think so, but it's cool to see a different POV.
Yeah, so I know stream POV can be a bit more added pressure since well, unfortunately the cast sometimes sees your mistakes in 4K, but that's just something we're gonna have to do.
Yeah, it's no big deal. Definitely not gonna flame.
Yeah, no, we'll stay neutral. We'll stay we'll stay kind. We'll stay normal about everything. Hopefully.
And I wonder who's LV's POV?
We have
Ivan. Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, I just know he was asking about call delay in the rep chat real quick. Yeah, he just reopened his stream, so we should have that POV sorted for the rest of the match, thankfully. Just a 7 room. I'm just keeping an eye on the rep chat to make sure there's no further delays. Nothing said though, probably just both teams having a bit of issues with WinFi. We know at 2 PM it tends to act out a little bit. That's the classic.
Yeah, no, recently, I mean, not as much, thankfully this month, but last month we had a lot of DCs happening with WinFi and like people aren't able to connect. It was kind of an issue, not gonna lie, last month. I don't know if you noticed it.
Yeah, I definitely felt it at least a little bit. I mean, I'm more used to warning a bit later, so thankfully I haven't had that many issues with it. But yeah, I definitely I definitely heard a lot of complaints about that. But yeah, what we have to deal with, the grassroots community and all.
That's true. At least WinFi's free, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, we take those. You never complain about that.
Yeah, I can't imagine if the game was paid.
Who's missing on the side of VC right now? We can figure out.
Oh, I think Sane.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, just missing Sane and both baggers. Hopefully, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Yeah, Sane is having, or Sane. I genuinely don't know how to pronounce that. I do believe it's Sane, but
Sane, yeah.
Sane's having issues with his net, so unfortunately we're gonna have to delay just a little bit longer. But it is, at least it's the 2 PM WinFi issues. The cast hasn't been the only one noticing it. It seems.
No, caster's curse. I think since we talked about it.
Absolutely. We control everything, as Twitch chat knows. We pull all the strings. Everything is on us. It is important.
Yep.
Checking it real quick, because I was curious actually to check ZC's record against both teams real quick, because I have checked the records of teams against one another. LV has VC's number in the matchup this season, just due to the sheer point difference in their win compared to VC, but I did not check the ZC results versus both of those teams actually.
Yeah, I'm curious too. I haven't checked D2.
They 2-0'd LV, but in the first one by 10 points, second one by 50, and VC they went 1-1 against, and both matches were like by less than 10 points. So actually VC having a really good shot against ZC in this season so far. VC, that's going to be really confusing if that ends up being the finals. But yeah, VC having a bigger shot, it seems, at beating ZC in the finals from what the season has been telling us so far. But obviously, playoffs are a whole different story. What we mentioned, the mental game, everything, but just overall, a lot of players maybe just taking it all a lot more seriously in general, and just having that just being more motivated to play to their best compared to the regular season, where maybe you can slip up once or twice and still be fine at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely, yeah. I think, yeah. I mean, it looks like, yeah, like top three was kind of like, it's kind of obvious like what it was gonna be like ZZ, VC, and L. I mean, they're all like interchangeable, but I think for the most part, that's what it seemed to be predicted anyway.
Yeah, but then I mentioned that like during the team presentations, but Bench was really close to actually grabbing that spot for LV that was decided by 1 bonus points. Obviously, it's really funny considering the point differential, which is 250 more, but yeah, it's just, as I said, LV either won their matches by a whole lot, but sometimes took pretty uncharacteristic losses against lower teams like KO, CS, that sort of thing, but once again, those wars can get pretty unpredictable, so slipping up once or twice is expected even for the highest level of teams.
That's
except
true.
Except if your name is JX this season, I guess, but that's besides the point. Regardless, we are 10 in room, I believe, or now we should be, so we should get started right away for the semis between VC LV. I recommend. Do we have the bets open in the Twitch chat? Actually, I did not check if the bets are open.
Oh, I missed the gamble.
Oh, yeah, okay. So everyone's already gambling in Twitch chat. And we are off to the races. So, let's see, first of all, which of the... Okay, from someone with a lot more experience in high-level RT wars, Casper, do you think the first pick matters more at higher levels than lower levels? Like the first track
To a
pick?
certain, yeah, to a certain extent, it does, especially the person in first. I usually tend to host a lot, but I think being the host or being the guy in first is very important. Like it's like it kind of sets up the race in a way, because first kind of controls a lot of these tracks, especially towards the beginning. So like let's just say like DDR, like you're in first, you start first, you back the other team right away, or you're just in that lead for a while. It's you kind of control the race from then on. Even in like tracks like RBC, obviously you're able to swerve. You're the first person to swerve and stuff like that. So I do think it's pretty important having the beginning of the race is really important as well in general with any sport.
Yeah, we were talking about it. DDR being chosen. We're gonna see the first POV being Edge in 5th. Let's see if he can maybe get up there immediately. 2 players taking sand hop immediately. None of them failing from what I'm seeing. Pretty close pack overall right at the start.
Yeah, it's gonna slow down for box, but doesn't really get what he wanted. But it's fine.
Devil thankfully getting a mega right out of that TC, managing to keep his spot in the mid pack here. Edge, unfortunately, addicted to the single shrooms in field, it seems not able to get anything out of it. Devil head out though. VC in 5-7, pretty even spots overall, it seems.
Yeah, it's definitely a close pack, and can't tell who's in last right now as
Not
bagger.
going for Ultra, interesting. Hussein actually getting hit out immediately. Seems like LV is getting up there. 2-3-4 at the very least. Not sure who's in first just yet. Maybe the last member of VC, or maybe it's a top 4. Psycho hit out, it seems, and Ken actually in first, holding the line for VC already.
Yeah, and it looks like B-Boy's last, so it doesn't look like he has it yet because he's shrooming. And
Ooh,
yeah, it looks like
I haven't hit out, but Edge as well. Nice little trade here. Ken is pretty top 2 is pretty far gone already.
yeah,
If
and
anyone's
no shot can play. No one has pulled it yet.
Sane going for Ultra, it seems, going to be able to catch up to that top 2. So it should be top 2 for VC going into that last lap. Oh, actually, not certain if anyone failed cut here.
Oh, it looks like one of the baggers is going forward, so it's probably B-Boy.
We did see Ivan bagging up quite a bit. Edge immediately goldening up into 4th here, trying to support Ken as much as possible. LV in 2-3-5. Wonder if no TS onto first, so maybe we get edge into set here if it's VC shock. We do,
Oh,
but
and
there's
there's a blue.
coming out. Bomb could be pretty big here. Does it hit anyone?
Oh,
Barely
oh, that
doesn't
was
hit Derek.
close. Oh, Ken
Can
gets
hit
hit
out.
out. Yeah, it looks like a pretty good race for Elvir.
Did Ken keep? I believe Ken kept first. Oh goodness. Okay. Never
Yeah,
mind.
blue
Having his POV
comboed.
back. Yeah, having his POV back. Yeah,
Ooh.
no. Oh my. Okay, never mind. Yeah, this is a really good race for LV. It seems having that POV back of Ken getting combo blued. Ivan gone in eighth. At this point, you don't really care about that. Uh, Unfortunate shot call. We tried to get Edge into set here, but that just allowed Ken to get perma comboed with red, blue, everything, and that's an immediate top 3 for LV, getting ahead by around 20 points just at the first race.
Yeah, I think with the shock, I don't think they knew that blue was coming, so they called it in the set, thinking like there was no blue. Otherwise, they most likely would have canceled the blue. But I think that's what happened. But
Yeah,
unfortunate for Ken though, because I mean they pulled 2 reds. He was dead.
yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. Just getting shock redded, blued, and then redded again. Really, nothing you can do in that spot. But you had to call that shock there to get the mid spots back up. Target shocking 2 and 3 there, maybe getting the item you need to break into that top 3, get a 1-3, try and get a good race out of it, but backfired tremendously. Not sure how intentional that was on LV's side. I don't know if that blue was spammed or if it was a prediction, but either way, going into a Rainbow Road pick immediately, quite the unconventional one. We do see BCWE more often, but Peach Gardens is going to be picked. A bit of a breather for VC.
Yeah, definitely what VC needs. It's good reset track. I think it's one of the most common reset track in the game for sure. And RTs.
Definitely so. And those really bad spots, 5, 6, 7, you pretty much no tops presence. You need that in order to get back up. We do see Edge in the mid pack. A lot of players sitting. Edge missing a box actually. Devil just running away with it. A TC being pulled immediately. And that bomb somehow not connecting. Goodness. I do believe Edge's POV is a bit further ahead than the others and have stream delay. Maybe I'm gonna have to tell him to fix that after this race. Ivan getting TC'd early. Nice thread up to
Ooh.
edge though. I believe LV are in decent spots. I think VC might be bottom 2 here. Not too sure.
It's
Really
a
nice
good,
bomb pull.
good pull for Edge there. It's gonna get him up there soon.
Yeah, LV is pretty much all in bottom 5. It seems a star being used immediately. Nice dodge on that fib there. But yeah, top 2 being pretty gone. Interesting
Early
early
shock for
shot
LV.
there.
I think it's reasonable. They get up there, and then their bagger's in 10th right now, from what it looks like, so they can get another shock.
Nice squish by Derek there. Psycho dodging in a star as well, supporting his teammate in first. VC might be in another world of trouble there if they can't manage to get a second shock.
And Derek having TC here, but Edge having golden, so Derek's gonna be in 8th. And the pack is still relatively close, but I mean, there's a blue, so it's gonna be even more close. But I don't know. I think LV might have shock again. The
It
bagger's
could
not really
be. I
hitting any
think both
chomps.
both baggers just hit Chomp, so no one has just yet. Would be interesting to see who of them can pull the earliest. We do see Ivan bagging a little bit. Edge getting that blooper. Unfortunately, going to be stuck in the back. The 8th might catch up to him even.
Yeah, Edge just needs just golden and something to get up there. It's gonna
Triple
be chain
shrooms.
boxes to get up there.
You chain B-boy. Not exactly sure what's happening on the bagger side here. I think one of them might have just pulled. Oh, landing
Oh,
on
the
that green is
green.
unfortunate. Yeah, and VC is in well, it's the bottom 2. We do see Psycho and Dane in 5 and 5 6. Not exactly sure what the pack looked like up there. We can switch POVs a little bit just to check.
Oh, it looks like Dane died a bit, and so did Psycho. But it looks like
Devil in
Ken's gonna get
Devil in
second.
1.
Oh, but he gets bumped by his teammate. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
unfortunate. That's bottom 3 for VC again.
Oh wow.
well, not again, but that means it's another really poor race for VC. Just an immediate one after that first poor one. That's 1-3-4-5. LV being dominant so far in this war. After that early shock, we were some teams might call that a bit debatable, but that just allowed Psycho to be up there. That allowed so much front presence that VC was never able to really catch up. Obviously, Edge pulling that blooper there, not really helping his case, being stuck in the back for most of it.
Yeah, I think the shock though was reasonable. Like, I mean, they were 1-4, but VC was 1-4. But I think the shock there is good because they had dodges already in the back from LV, and the bagger was 10th. So it's kind of one of those things where the teams kind of do that most often in like higher div, where they could where they do 2 shock and like try to get up there early, and then like hopefully get shock again like later on throughout the race, so they can control their top spots. But yeah, that's what it looked like. Unfortunately, I mean, LV didn't get the shock as like their bagger was 10th, but I still think it's a good play that LV goes early, especially in that set too, because it's one of the most important sets in that track, and it's like pretty broken if you dodge and then just get a chain and then just take the cut while having the chain.
Yeah, not actually sure what Psycho had here. I think he had like a 4th or 5th chain placed chain, but sometimes that's just more than enough if you're already up there. DK Summit being chosen, VC not having another break, thankfully for LV. Well, granted, LV managed to get quite a good race on VC's reset picks, so we'll have to see if they can keep the momentum going so far. VC still in bottom 2 after that. You don't want to sit too long at that cannon set, but let's see what the first double has in store for us. Can be pretty chaotic from experience. TC actually on the side of Derek in 6, so LV might have one player in the back already trying to pass it to Edge, shrimming away, forcing him to go around. No one failing double, it seems. Actually, top 4 all able to take it.
Yeah, good on Edge's part for avoiding the TC there. It's pretty. Just get away from getting the TC. You don't want anything to do with TC on this track, because once you fall behind on this track, it's pretty much hard to catch up, even like while dodging in the back.
Well, Ivan actually getting hit out as well. That's top 2 for VC with Edge holding a Mega in 4. Wonder if he's gonna choose to maybe schlag on double with this. Maybe get his last teammate ahead. Might be forced into Mega with that red here. Is he gonna go for single? Barely cracks it.
Yeah, and the bagger situation's pretty close right now, but it looks like Brody's in 10th right now and touched the box there. They could have it. It looks like Elvin might have it right now. I think B-Boy just pulled Bill.
We're gonna have to see that TC thankfully not be able to get him. Can Pow barely able to allow him to keep that Mega, which can be pretty big for that late shock. Maybe expecting a TS onto his teammates. Mega into the
He tried to Mega B-Boy there, but I don't think anyone has it then.
Interesting. Bomb up onto Psycho, not connecting. Another bomb. Not connecting as well. Edge going for single for the 3rd time in a row. You see Ken taking double there. LV in 3-4, but it seems like VC finally managing to catch a break here. Late shock, but I'm not even sure if Edge is going to lose a spot off that.
Yeah, if we could switch over to the other POV that Ivan, maybe we'll take a look at what happened. Yeah, it looks like he went for single, and VC's top 2.
Yeah, Dane taking double ahead of Ivan there. Psycho also taking it, but that doesn't really matter. Not able to hit out top 2, and that just means, yeah, VC on LV's track pick, finally able to catch a break, finally able to get a winning race, and not a small one at that. Top 256, definitely not something to scoff at.
I don't know if I agree with Ivan going with single, but I think it's kind of one of those things where like, yeah, you can play safe and not get hit, but then again, VC got top 2 because of it, and I think it's like kind of it could lead to a snowball effect just because like top 2 is like pretty good for tracks to keep your top spot. S11 looks like they got top 2, 5, 6. So I mean, yeah, it's gonna be one of those things where like they get the top spots, but then they can control the race if the track gets picked.
All right, I am informed that Edge is currently adding delay to his stream, so thankfully all 3 of our POVs should be synced now, so there should not be any more issues with delay. Thankfully, the moment his stream is back up, it'll be a lot easier to cast all this.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
But yeah, regardless, VC now in striking distance, now below the 31-point threshold. That's the bog standard is war. In wars, once again, we remind the audience that top 4-9 in wars is 31. So any amount lower than that can be backable in a single race. So being above that gives you a much better cushion than anything else, really.
Yeah, I mean, even though they're only down like 31 or like 21 or whatever, but like it's still pretty close anyway. Like it's only GP2, and it can go anyone's game still. If VC, since VC got the track pick, they can control the top spots again, and from what some it looked like they didn't even need shock, so they're able to do that.
Yeah, actually, not even GP2. This is race 4. Let's see here. Ivan missing the set here, saying maybe able to hit him out immediately. Just choosing to get up there and not wanting to risk anything. Derek up in second, maybe having shroomed up or drafted up here. Pretty typical on
Oh, this
Moonview.
bomb could be pretty good. Oh, but he gets pushed by Brody a bit. Don't think it's gonna be Pen. I don't know if he got bombed from. Oh, Ivan got bombed. Yeah.
Ivan got bombed immediately after as well. Yeah, Ken missing the bomb ahead of Ivan here and not managing to hit out anyone. Edge with a Mega in fourth now, with teammate in front of him. BC having quite the good control over top spots. 1, 3, 4, pretty necessary
Oh.
on a track like Moonview.
Oh, good back from Derek. Oh, and then he hits the bomb car because of it. Derek back one of them, and yeah, it kind of led to an effect right there.
Yeah, heading out his teammate, unfortunately. Thankfully, Edge having those triple reds, allowing him to tank the necessary reds for his teammate there. Last one cracking on the turn, and a blue being thrown by LV. VC's not going to have a lot of control for these top slots for long. That back bomb, unfortunately, not hitting Ivan for Edge. So we do see Sane hitting out that hitting out by that blue being thrown.
Ken with the bomb play. That was clean.
Really nice bomb snipe.
And the draft too. It's really good.
Pretty scary draft in the middle of the traffic, but they're now in 2-3-4, I believe, with Sane right behind them. Ivan having dodged in a Mega. We do see him running out one of Ken's teammates in the back, now in second, able to help Derek keep onto those top spots. That shock really helping them out after the blue just getting back into those top spots. Can Ken get one last snipe off? It's going to be a shroom. Not enough. That is top 2 for LV.
Oh wow, yeah. That was definitely a chaotic race. Yeah.
Really back and forth race overall, but that blue into shock just allowed LV to get back up there. Not sure if that was pulled in 10 or not, but yeah, regardless, really back and forth race overall. Ken getting a beautiful bomb snipe off, but unfortunately not helping him get anywhere close to that top 2 by the end of things. That is top 2 for 7 for LV, getting back in control.
Yeah, I agree. I think well, VC was up there for the most part, and we saw like lap 2 they were like 1-3-4 until Derek nanted one of VC's members into the bomb car, and then Ken also got hit, I think. But yeah, the blue and shock was definitely what made LV control the race later on. I think they got, I wouldn't say bailed out, but definitely got what they needed.
I mean, hey, if you don't want to lose first to a blue, you just have to get your lead. You just have to get a bigger lead. Get those backs up there. Try and get a bit more cushion for that blue, which unfortunately at such a high level is pretty difficult to do with those players being easily able to avoid a lot of back spams. Rainbow Road once again being picked on the side of LV with that top 2-4. Grumble Volcano, pretty typical reset track with Gardens being gone. And it is going to be Grumble, I believe. Yeah, Grumble being chosen. Let's make a bet, Casper. Do you think anyone will fail Rock Hop this race?
Yes, I think we'll probably see like 2 people fail it this race.
All right, quite.
What do you think?
Not sure if that's a lack of confidence, but we'll see. All right, so Ken immediately getting up there, trying to go. Oh, immediately getting a shroom actually, and a draft right after. He's in a perfect spot right now.
Oh, that's clean. I think he's gonna be close to first, but he's gonna get redded. Unfortunately, I've been pulled triple reds in third.
Yeah, the red thankfully for Ivan skipping his teammate there. Devil trying to start Ken out as much as possible just for a single shroom. Let's see what Rock looks like. Edge having triple shrooms going for it. I believe Psycho and Sane here going for it as well.
Oh,
Sane actually falls off. So
oh,
Psycho.
I think Ken fell off too.
Well, you already have your bet filled out, Casper. We'll see if any more
Yep.
of them end up failing. I do believe Psycho Psycho should have more shrooms as well, not backing anything else. Him and Edge are just going to be up there if there's no POW or early shock involved. Both backers sitting at the sets, I believe, so no one going for strat just yet.
Yeah, no. Oh, this POW is gonna be so good for LV. Cycle's gonna take cut and probably pound soon, unless Cycle has another shroom. But Edge
And
does
Edge
fail the
falls off.
cut.
So missing that last shroom for the ending respawn there. Ken taking the cut in a golden as well. We do see a lot of VC up here. It's 4 out of the top 5. Psycho being the only one after taking that second rock hop, managing to keep his lead. Blue could be disastrous for LV right here.
I want to talk about the POW. On the other side of POV, it looks like they use POW when Cycle's in the air, so it looks like Cycle might take cut first. And it does look like top 2 takes cut from LV, so it looks like it's going to be an LV top 2, most likely.
And baggers also having gone forward. One of them should have. Maybe we see a late call there into the respawn.
Yeah, LV shock coming in play, and it looks like Derek's going to dodge and respawn with double.
And TS's Ken, we do see Ivan dodging in a star late, getting up there, beating Edge as well. So LV with that late shock, with Psycho taking that triple cut, just getting a good race out of that. Psycho absolutely putting his team on his back right there with that race. Good POW call as well to keep that last room just in case of a late VC shock. That would either force them to use it early to prevent Psycho from taking the cut, or just let Psycho run into first. So either way, great POW call by them. I was indeed surprised to not see them T-POW Edge, like get him out the cut, but maybe not wanting to risk Psycho failing cut due to the micro bounces.
I'm pretty sure they just wanted to hold shock, and they were fine spots, so there was no need for first to call it. So they wanted just to call bottom spots to maybe get a spot out of it. But yeah, really clean race by Psycho there. He making rock hop twice, and then having the other shroom, and taking respawn. It was guaranteed first.
Those classic one-item Grumble races that you do always love having, that's for certain. But yeah, LV also just already being in the lead, so they didn't really need to make a risky play. They could just hold shock for a decent race. And coming into the halfway point of the war, they have a pretty commanding lead by 45. Koopa K being picked on both sides. So yeah, unfortunately, not exactly any suspense in that regard. KC, pretty interesting track overall. Probably not sure how common that is, but I do.
It's pretty common for sure. I think it's one of those tracks where you can either pick it for like 1-5 bottom spots or like 2-4-6-8. It's like kind of like BC3 in a way almost. You can just pick it for whatever spots. And honestly, I like the track. It's a pretty fun track.
Would be inclined to agree. Not that holds much weight, but regardless. But yeah, no, it should be either way, Koopa Cape. Let's see. Psycho, if Psycho gets a green here, can get the Trumba early, just a really big lead right at the start. Do you see a lot of people sitting early at the set? Not sure if Devil got a box out of that even.
Yeah, Ken's gonna be in first with the shroom in first. It's pretty good. It's gonna take cutting here, making the shroomless, so that's really good. Ivan's gonna golden. It looks like he hit the wall there.
Yeah,
So
hitting
yeah,
the wall.
Ken's
So unfortunately, Ken's gonna still be ahead with. We do know he does have one shroom left, after having taken that that shroomless. Sorry. Wonder if he's gonna go for ending cut or choose to save it.
It looks like B-Boy has shock. He's running away with it right now.
Absolutely, that's a really early shock being pulled. Ken can safely take that shroom cut there, maybe getting a blue cancel out of it. And actually, we do see a really early shock being used there. Dane dodging in a Mega, running out Ivan, and Edge dodging in a Star as well, chaining triple shrooms. That's a really big shock by VC.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a really good shock. Even though Ken was like up there, I think now they're gonna have the rest of VC up there with him to help him.
They might be. Are they top 4 right now? They are top 4 right now with that unfortunate TC pull. But Derek
Oh,
hits. Derek hits
oh, but he,
the
oh, but he passes the TC because of it.
pin,
Oh,
barely able to dodge it, Derek,
oh, he
and
gets
he
passed
passes
back by
back.
Derek.
Derek is
Oh,
bumped out quite a
wow.
bit though, so he's gonna be in 8th regardless. Psycho in 4th, VC in top 3. That's yeah, that
That's
shock
really
just allowed them
good.
to get that shock just allowed them to get into top 3, and they should keep this. Koopa Cape is not that easy of a track to catch up on if you don't have Golden, so we'll just have to see if another shock can be easily pulled.
Yeah, so from what VC's bagger's gonna do now is gonna try to prevent shock from happening or try to get ground stars. Because there's no need for VC to get shock anymore since they're already top 3. And especially since you're right, like this is kind of a hard track to catch up,
Oh,
especially on lap 3.
Ivan missing the Shroomba by a hair. That's unfortunate. That's one of your main ways to catch up without Shrooms.
Yeah, if we could switch over to another POV, I think Ken's POV.
Well, Ken
Yeah, it
is
looks
pretty
like Dane got blued, but I don't know if Ken threw the blue at his own teammate, from what it looked like.
Nah, I
If we
think
could
that was
switch to Ken.
just an ill-timed just an ill-timed cheer there, but either way, Edge
Hmm.
now in star wanting to prevent a late shock by LV, getting his box stolen. Unfortunately, that probably
Oh, Dane gets redded. No,
ding. Oh, that's such an unfortunate red. So that's bottom 2. After that first big shock, that blew into the tunnel. Really difficult to react. We know it tends to not give any warning in the tunnel, just to, how much it pretty much sky bombs you. It skydives from all the way down to the all the way up to the waterfall straight down. So yeah, unfortunately, VC just not being able to get as big of a race as they would have wanted. That first shock got 3 of them up there, but Edge was pretty much stuck in the back that entire time. And that just means that, yeah, they're left in the dust. LV getting 2, 3, 5, 6 out of that with that blue onto Sane.
yeah, that was very unfortunate for Dane. It looked like it would have been top 2-4 if Dane didn't get hit out at the end. I don't know if he didn't get a box, but yeah, it was kind of like unfortunate what happened towards the end. And then there
Yeah,
wasn't a POW either.
pretty chaotic box situation at the end. It always is on KC or in all of those really tight 4-3 box sets. Not enough for everyone, and sometimes you pay the price. But yeah, LV, from the backs of what looked like a pretty strong showing from VC going into lap 3, just able to get back up there with with a blue and some DC9 to play right after.
Yeah, and I think I agree with VC shock. It's kind of like the garden shock we saw earlier. Like they kind of just use that shock to get up there early and control the race. Like especially what LV did in garden. So it's one of those things where even if they get the shock, like there's a chance to get another, or just just use it to get up there. I think that's what VC's good at doing, especially like their frontal presence. I think once they're up there, they kind of they're just up there until like another shock of blue happens.
Yeah, so far they've been they're showing Ken, especially Ken has been up there pretty much every race. It feels like just being able to
Yeah.
stay up there. But yeah, those blues definitely not helping in that regard. RWS being picked by LV. We shall see if Ken can stay up there. Unfortunately,
Oh,
instantly bumped out.
yeah,
That
that's
is
not good for Ken.
that is the curse of first on RWS, ladies and gentlemen. And now VC in a pretty bad spot. Pretty much all bottom spots. It looks like I think LV might be top 3 out of this. Dane getting a star up there. Ivan having to dodge out of the way. The small Nana hits Ken, but it's not enough. Golden in 5.
Oh,
That's a
golden
really big
5.
pickup.
Yeah, that's really good. As long as he doesn't get hit, but unfortunately he has to use it, and then the
Oh,
POW is gonna destroy him.
gets pounded into the dirt. Yeah, let's change POVs. He's gonna be stuck in the dirt for quite a while. And an immediate blue. LV are
Oh
top 3 with
no.
blue.
And then Dane gets hit out with a fib there, so yeah, LV top 3 right now and holding blue. That's really good for LV.
Yeah, Psycho is the only one in the bottom half of the pack. Bagger situation is was really close, but I believe one of them had to lose Bill. So now one of the baggers way more in front than the other. Dane trying to head out Ivan, get a break into the top
Oh
3
yeah.
is not
This is
enough.
not good. And Brody's in last because yeah, B-Boy pulled the bill there earlier, so it looks like LV's gonna control this race from what it looks like. And if they get shocked, then it's pretty much almost GG for them in this track.
Oh,
But Saint
Ivan hitting
catching
the
up though.
dirt. Ivan hitting the
Saint's,
dirt, unfortunately, allowing Sane to get up into 3rd. That mega is pretty scary, but it's not going to hit him just yet. Top 2, 4, 5 for LV coming into lap
he
3.
gets
Sane
hit
getting hit
out.
out.
Oh, but the TC pass. Oh, but he passes it back to Dane somehow. That's insane. I don't know how.
Dane
but
chasing him for it, and Ivan is going to lose blue there. That's a really big pickup. They can get it quickly and get maybe
yeah.
a shock right after.
Oh, there's a blue. There's a blue.
Immediately pulled right as we called it.
They might
Unfortunate for Edge.
cancel.
I'm not sure. I don't think Shock has had just
Oh,
yet. Unfortunate red
Dane and
there.
Star.
And
Oh, I don't
Star
know
a
if there's gonna
lot.
be shock coming in soon from LV. Yeah, I think LV shock right there. TSing a couple from VC. Oh, but Dane gets first though. That's wait, what?
I think that was second. I think no. I think Dane got second. I think
Oh,
first was just out of our POVs.
oh, okay. It looked like Dane got first.
I'm
I
not.
don't
I'm
know
not
if
entirely
I
sure.
don't know. I don't know if I'm right, but
It's either first was far gone enough that battle glitch didn't show it through all the names, or Dane indeed got first. But I believe he got second. Well, we'll see it anyway. Yeah, the shock, a pretty chaotic end overall. A lot of players in dodges. Not exactly sure who that shock even belonged to in all honesty. And actually, no, you're right. Dane got first with Ken in fourth. Might
oh
have
my
been a VC
god,
shock there. Might have
that
been
was
a
a
VC shock.
that was really good salvage from VC, especially since LV was top 3 with shock and blue, and we saw earlier like LV losing the blue from the TC pass from Dane, which was pretty good, and then also like them getting shocked. I believe it looked chaotic, but yeah, it probably wasn't a VC shock, even though Brody was 10th.
Yeah, you would expect a VC shock there. Dane dodging up in a star late and maybe TSing the top spots, getting Dane into first. But yeah, the TC chase, chasing him like a damn hound out there, just getting him out after that first TC pass, lagging back onto Dane. But yeah, and the immediate blue pull after as well. That was what, like 2 seconds after the blue was lost or something along those lines. It felt like it.
No, yeah,
Solid.
so yeah, it was a VC shock. I guess they just pulled it in 9th. But anyway, I mean, it's still it's what VC needed. Like they needed the shock and the blue, so they got what they wanted.
Yeah, or RBC being picked on both sides. Once again, a pretty pretty standard track pick for any spots, both for drafting, just for trying to run up there. 1-4, and we have 2-3-5-6, I believe, on the side of LV.
Yeah, we'll see what happens in the beginning, because especially on this track, it's very important. The beginning is what kind of sets up the rest of this race for sure. We'll see if we can get some drafts going on from
Good
VC
little
side.
bumps.
We do get a
A
couple
lot of
going
people,
on.
drafting up, but Ivan was the one to draft first. Ivan Psycho in top 2, Derek shrooming up. From what I'm seeing, really close top pack overall. I do see a lot of VC names in the back, though. Ken able to get another draft up, not able to get any items out of that fib.
Ooh,
Heading someone from VC in the back, and yeah, that's top 3 on the side of LV. Derek,
yeah,
Ivan, and Devil all being up there, and Devil as well shrooming up. Psycho shrooming up into 4th there. Saint
and
getting
Saints
back
can
up
stream
there.
up. Oh, but
Oh my goodness,
the red connects. Oh, Ken avoids the greens.
those are amazing dodges by Ken right there, both from the green on the bridge, and afterwards Ivan trying so hard to hit him out, but it doesn't really get anything out of it. Derek not backing on the rail, and Ivan still sitting in 4th, but Ken's breaking to the top 3 with some amazing display of dodging here.
Yeah, very well played from Ken there. Uh, but yeah, it looks like LV needs or VC needs blue and shock
Something
to
along
catch
those
up.
lines. Oh,
Oh, but we see a
great
double
back.
back coming out.
Great timed back by the LV players. Ivan was a bit further back though, so Dane is able to sneak up into 3rd. Great pull by Ken. They're getting that golden in 5th. Should be able to shoom back up, maybe break into the top 2. But he
Oh,
gets
but the
bumped by Ivan.
bomb. Oh, that's gonna cost him a lot.
On the Nana as well. I believe VC is now in bottom 3.
Oh,
And great
Psycho.
mega by Psycho. Yeah, let's
Yeah,
just be a little bit
yeah, well
on
played there
Ivan
from
there.
Psycho there. And definitely what LV needs to do. And the blue coming in place, so yeah, LV's gonna be controlling first for the most part, unless we see another TC battle happening. But
Either that or
yeah,
we need B-Boy to pull a shock right now, but I don't know if anyone has just yet. We do see one of the baggers going forward, not exactly sure who. So one of the baggers definitely has. We do see Edge in a star on our other POV, and Shock is not called. So LV most likely has Shock and is just going to be able to hold this top 2, 4, 5, unless anything really, really bad happens around cut, possibly. Psycho gets hit actually with that fib, and Dane backs out Ivan right as I say it.
ooh.
Switching on to Edge's POV there with VC getting up there, Psycho fighting, and Ken actually
Oh,
gets
but Ken's
bumped off
off.
with a Mega!
Yeah, no, he just got bumped off and then used the Mega afterwards, which seemed like it. But
Yeah.
someone in Bill?
And
Oh,
actually,
no.
Edge gets hit by it. Not sure if it matters that much. TC gets past, but it's not going to be enough, really. VC
Oh, bottom
in
3.
bottom 3. LV's just having such a commanding lead in these races. They were top 3 out of the 3rd turn.
Yeah, pretty unfortunate from what it looked like from the start. I mean, Ken was up there, like, from the start, but unfortunately, he kind of got hit out.
Yeah, just a chain of drafts on the side of LV and Derek shrooming up instantly, just allowing them to keep that top 3 for most of the race. Sane, do we even call that a salvage? That's still top 2, 4, 5 for LV. That's a monstrous race by them. And honestly, this is looking close to the point of no return.
Yeah, it's getting close there. Yeah, I mean, unless we see some secret pens happening soon, but I don't think so. But I think yeah, like you said, I think you're right. I mean, it's getting to the point where it's gonna be very hard for VC to come back, and I think now since it's race 9, it's gonna be VC needs a huge race here, like need like a top 3,
Yeah,
or
at this
top
point
4 if they can.
you need anything you can get here. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if after this race we see an FF just trying to conserve mental fortitude going into the second match. But yeah, just a dominant showing from LV overall. Just a really strong item play by them. That double back onto Ken, they're just getting him out of that top 3. Dane getting up there trying to do something similar, but Psycho schlagging as well with that Mega. That just gave them so much of a break there that with the blue and shock being held by LV, there was just no chance of coming back at all.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, especially on the chocolate, yeah, it's pretty hard to avoid backspam in general, and like with the double back, it's definitely like very hard for Ken. But I mean, let's see. Delfino gets picked. It's pretty good for VC. It's what they needed. They need a reset track and also to get up there. It's gonna be
Yeah,
easy for them to do so.
at this point, just the Rainbow Road pick itself might have been enough of a reason for VC to FF altogether. We do see one of them bagging out immediately, double bagging out, but Edge immediately back greened out by Derek, I believe. So we'll have to see how many people take the double here. Devil made sure to bag quite a bit, and he does pull get him. He needs to take that double here. Gets megaed out
Oh
by
no!
Dane, but Dane,
What?
a lack of communication here makes Edge get megaed here. Thankfully pulls a POW. They're really strong item before double there. If any of LV had managed to smuggle any shrooms into the top spots there, but we'll have to see if that POW is enough to get back up in the race. But yeah, just really unfortunate miscommunication there. Gets Edge out of a pretty decent spot there with a shroom.
Yeah, very definitely miscommunication play, and that's not good. But
We
yeah.
do see a POW being used before Ken gets into the set.
Oh, and Ivan's forced around because of it, so he can't take dog.
Unfortunate, no shroom pulls. And he backs onto the cut, trying to snipe out Devil, and he
Ooh,
does get it. Wow.
that was clean.
I'm surprised he gets that. Good avoidance on the back green as well. We see a lot of VC up there actually. I believe they're 3-4-5-8s maybe. It's still decent for Delfino Square, but Ken gets pretty hard T-Pout out there. So B-Boy still in 10th though. If he can get a shock there, it could be really big for VC, possibly shocking to set or something along those lines.
Yeah, unless if LV has shock right now, it's kind of wraps for VC.
Really
And then
good
get
back
hit
from
out.
Edge. Is that a shock into set by VC? I can't even tell really.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, insane dodging there.
Same dodging with a star. We do get a shroom out of Edge
He
though.
doesn't get a chain though.
Ken gets one as well. That could maybe be enough. Let's see it.
They need a blue right now, so if they can pull one, it'd be really good for VC.
Yeah, Ivan's still in first. They won't be able to get him out. That
But the
POW. Okay,
POW
good avoidance on that by Edge, but it's not enough.
Edge with it looks like a 2-3-4 from VC, unless a 2-3-5, but
2-3-4-8 or 2-3-5-8. Yeah, I don't think that's enough really.
Yeah, no. Now it's gonna be very hard for VC. I don't know. They need at least a top 4 and maybe a pen, but it's gonna be hard now.
Yeah, I'm
It's
not
not a
sure.
bad race. It's not a bad race. It's a winning race, but VC needs more than just a 2-3-4 or even race. They need big races.
Yeah, that's just rough. Ivan thankfully managing to get back up there. That is 2-3-4-8 on the side of VC, but they're still down. They're, I'm not sure how much they're down by. Let's see our table. They're down by 69 going into race 10. So yeah, if LV gets a single winning race, it's GG's.
Yeah, at this point, it's looking pretty hard for VC to come back. But maybe they do so. You know, you never know.
You never know. Yeah, we've seen a lot of crazy comebacks in semis and finals. This could very well be one of them. It all depends on that next race, really. If VC is able to get a top 3 or a top 4 or anything of the sort out, it's still winnable. But yeah, it's going to be quite the uphill battle, obviously.
I think
There
what
has.
LV's gonna probably do is I mean, if they get shocked, all they need is like the top spot, like first or whatever, and then it's over. Like they don't need like LV doesn't need a big race anyway. So I think what LV's gonna do now is try to like keep it neutral or try to keep it so where VC can't like get a top spot.
Yeah, you pretty much just need to secure first or second, and you're guaranteed to win the war at this point. So securing a single top slot is more than enough. And MC3 being picked for first bottom spots, pretty typical for those spots, really. For those that are curious, the only pen that has been called out so far is a really small one on GV by LV, which has been slightly laughed at by the reps, so no consequences so far. We're going to need to see one here if maybe VC has any chance of getting out. Edge getting up there and immediately redded by Ivan, actually. Devil getting up into third, shrooming up into second. Ken being the only one up there for his team right now, having one
Yeah,
less
Devil
shroom.
also pulled triple shrooms as well. So it looks like Ken's gonna be having a 1v1
Devil
with
actually,
Devil.
I'm not sure exactly what happened. Did he get redded or sniped out? Either way, Devil gets hit out, and now that's top 2 for VC. Top 3 actually with Edge.
Wow.
Well, not wait, sorry, not top 3. Ivan does get a draft though. Yeah, Devil is still in second though, so it is 1-3-5 for VC right now. Definitely a winnable spot in MC3 at the moment. Red
Yeah.
being thrown in
Oh,
the
the
corner with
bomb.
that back bomb.
Yeah, it looks like Devil's in first now. Oh, close from Ken. They need a blue here. They need to get rid of Devil, or else it's gonna be Raps here.
Yeah, it's gonna be a shock red or anything. A shock red or a blue are pretty much the only ways they can get Devil out. I believe he's out of sniping distance by this point, unless you pull out some really niche thing in this corner there, which we are trying to do.
Or maybe
But
it's side
yeah,
red.
he
It
hits
could
his
happen here.
teammate as well. Oh no.
Oh, it does hit Devil. Oh, but Derek's in second.
Yeah, that's
Ken
Derek and
needs to
Devil
hit
in
him.
2-3. Those
Oh
back threes, they're
no,
not connecting. They can just go wide. Yeah,
that's not
that's
enough.
two
Yeah,
three.
no.
That's 2-3-4 actually. I think for LV with Ivan in last. I think that is wraps, ladies and gentlemen, for VC for this first match.
Yeah, no. Pretty unfortunate. I mean, VC like we're hitting them out, but LV was catching up again with Shrooms.
Yeah, LV never seemed really out of any race. There was never any moment where LV seemed entirely out. Even there's just one instance of Moonview top 3, and that got dismantled really quickly. Then again, it is by Blue and Shock, which any team can get dismantled by. But yeah, that is 2-3-4-7 for LV, and we're now out of the 62 points for the last 2 races. I'm checking rap chat to see if an FF is called. Would not be surprised. Oh, we can. They can play out as well. Depends on what they value most in terms of what they think will be best for their mental at this point. What I am seeing is that you already lost your wager, Casper. That is, we're not getting to see a 2-0 by VC.
Oh no.
The
Yeah,
nightmare.
yeah, I was hoping my gamble would go right, but it's okay.
It's fine. We lose points. We all lose points sometimes. No need to worry. Um, I do not. Yeah, it seems like we're playing it out on both sides. Maybe. Okay, so we're up by 7. Is it possible with double top 5? I'm admittedly not sure.
Um, I mean, I have no idea. I kind of forgot what a top 5 was. I think like a 40. But even then, I don't think it's still possible.
If it's 40, it's barely possible. But yeah, it seems unlikely at the very least. Peach Beach, that's a track you don't see often in comp, that's for certain. Ken getting a pretty nice draft out onto Derek there to get back into first, but Derek has an item and he doesn't, and that's the important part here. Fib being thrown up, not connecting with Ken, gonna be able to keep up first here. Another green snipe attempt, really close. LV in 2-3-4, I believe, already with Derek Psycho, and well, actually, I believe that is maybe Sonic, maybe Sane behind in fourth. Not exactly certain.
Yeah, I mean, Ken's gonna keep first. But Ivan stars the other bagger, and B-Boy doesn't have shock.
Yeah, on our other POVs, we do see that, and Ivan immediately getting a Bill up there. Pow, maybe a Pow Red on the side of Ken. He just doesn't dodge Pow. And thankfully his teammates are behind him. His teammates having managed to get back up, splitting that shroom. Not splitting it? I'm not exactly sure.
Oh, the blue coming down from LV.
Another blue. And yeah, that's Sane and Edge in top 2, so you'd think it's fine. And Ken trying to break the red on the Catacquack.
And he's purpose spinning.
Let's switch POVs away from Ken here. I don't think he gets back up there. Edge, thankfully keeping first there, just throwing that green, not wanting to get it dropped onto Sane. But LV getting 3-4-5, so even in the realm of a possibility of a double top 5, it is curtains, folks.
Yeah, no, it's a GG now. Mathematically, it's not possible. Unless they get like 60 pens and then top 4, but nah.
You never know. Maybe they've been saving pens this entire war and are planning to drop them, which is totally legal, trust.
True.
The classic holding 100 points in pen until race 11.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, that's going to be a nice 3-4. Well, not a very nice one, but it's 3-4-5 for LV, which is enough. Yeah, that is a 69-point lead going into the last race.
Yeah. Well, at least on the bright side, like it's a best of 3, so VC can come back, and it's not over yet. Like they can win, but the thing is that like even though LV has the momentum, like VC has like this break, and with the break they can like refocus and be like, okay, like what did we do wrong this race, or what did we do wrong in general in the war? I think that's what's pretty good about these breaks, is that they get this mental reset and also get to talk about what happened. I think from what it looked like from VC's side, I think it's just the general like mistakes that they've made. I mean, unfortunately, I think LV did get more shocks, but from what it looked like from VC's POV, I think they just made some fails, and that's like it's not a team thing, but it's more like a personal thing. Like like they can just easily like that can be fixed within the next match.
Yeah, it feels like they got hit by a lot of items the war in general, so just maybe trying to make more of an effort to try and avoid LV's lines just in general. But yeah, I mean, we've seen it during the regular season, as we spoke about earlier, in the matchup between LV and VC during the regular season. Matches ended up being 1-1 after this small break, so we know they can use that small break effectively. It's just a matter of really finding out exactly what you did wrong, ironing out those kinks, and getting back up there for the next 12 races.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's just gonna be a race for fun at this point. I don't think there's anything to gain from it.
Well, aside from possibly mental confidence, if you can somehow get like a top 4 if you're VC, but really that's pretty much the only thing. Devil getting a TC. Ivan having a golden in fourth, not something you see very often on TF.
Oh, like that going around. I mean, yeah, it's probably a controller misplay anyway, but unfortunate. Probably would have been first.
Should be able to golden up at the conveyor belts, I would assume. Ken trying to get a Mega out onto Derek and Ivan. Getting it out onto Derek.
Let's get Derek, yeah.
Right at the end, Psycho pulling a TC, and it's not going to be able to pass it off. Well, he does get a Mega, so that's the next best thing, really.
Mm-hmm.
VC should stay up there.
Ivan got
Ivan
hit
is
out.
hit out. That is top 3 for
Oh, and LV Shock.
And Psycho
Oh,
dominated that.
yeah, and
Psycho
LV
changed
and
two Megas?
he did. Yeah, on the other side we just see Ivan pulled Mega after Mega.
Oh goodness, yeah, it's now 2-3 for LV with the red on the side of Ivan. If Psycho lets him pass, it's a pretty easy red. I'm gonna choose to wait though. I
Well, at least
mean,
Edge with the back.
a lot of ground. Surprised no one hit either that ground shell or those nanas. Ken getting up into third. Psycho battling out for first at this point. Red being thrown out by Ken's. Edge barely hanging on to first. It looks like none of them taking cuts. Not wanting to risk
No,
anything.
Edge, he gets hit
Cutted
out.
out. No, Psycho
No.
barely passing him, I assume, and then the red just targets him. And that is top 2 for the last race, I believe, for LV. Not the
Yeah.
swing in momentum you needed if you're LV. If you're VC, trying to get that last bit of confidence boost, and then shock just happens with double mega dodge in the mid pack.
Yeah, I think. Unfortunately, I mean, VC was up there until they pulled Shock and then they dodged. But
Yeah, so Psycho chaining 2 megas pretty much back to back there is really unfortunate.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, it should be, yeah, it's a 1-4, never mind, Sane was still up there, so yeah, it's 1-4-5-8. Pretty even race to top it all off, but LV with Psycho MVPing by pretty much nothing, and this were really close overall, it felt like in the top half of the pack at least.
Yeah, definitely.
Dane and Edge not having the best war so far, but that can be easily fixed in the next war. But it's funny, really. We were talking about it earlier that it felt as if LV didn't really have a carry runner, and on the other side you had Ken and Sane being really the big point scorers for his team. And this were I feel like it showed it off perfectly. Everyone on LV's side was pretty much within 10-20 points of indivs, and on the other side you have Ken and Sane. Uh, it feels bad saying carrying, but they've been putting up way more points than Edge or Derek for the time being. So hopefully that's not a tendency that's going to be repeating throughout the course of this BO3.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, like I said, I think it was literally anyone can score. I think anyone can be on their game and any day. And from what it looked like, I mean, everyone was just like playing well in general, and it was pretty close. I mean, not really close in terms of score, but in terms of like, just being up there. And there's so many. It wasn't like all like Sane and Ken was up there the whole time. It was like pretty much anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. You'd expect with this sort of scoreline that there would be like way more dominant showings on the side of LV breaking 400, but if you look at the individual races outside of RBC, every single one of those races, it felt like it was anybody's game really until like either someone got hit out lap 3, a blue shell, a shock was called, anything along those lines. It felt really close for most of it.
Yeah, it definitely was. I mean, I think I'm trying to think of what I like it for the most part. It looked like VC was up there until like there was a shock and blue, but then LV was kind of just if they were up there even without shock, they kind of just had blue in general. I think we saw a lot of blues throughout the match in general.
Yeah, a lot of blues being thrown on more so on LV's side really, but it seemed like they were more often the spots to pull them as well. It felt like VC were often like really top bottom spots. LV were often in the mids, so obviously much more likely to pull a blue shell to get back into the race there.
Yeah,
Have
good.
to see.
Yeah, definitely good calm there. I do agree with that. I mean, I think even though they were mid spots, I think it's still pretty good. Like, especially if LV was since they were up there a lot, like they're just like top 2, top 3. They pull blue, and then if they pull shock, that's kind of like the race. Not really much you can counter from that.
Yeah, it felt more so as if they could secure a lot of races with shock that they already had winning. Whereas on the side of VC, you kind of needed to have the shock in order to get back up there, or just in general, LV using a really good shock in order to get a really good race out of it. We did see though VC did have some really clean shot calls though. We remember the Koopa Cape one, we remember the Gardens one, even though both of those ones really didn't end up working out that well. There were good shot calls in a vacuum, but everything that happened afterwards just didn't go in their favor, just getting hit out instantly or anything along those lines, not being able to really capitalize on those really good shot calls.
Yeah, another was Stadium. Like they salvaged the race by just TSing them in the mid spots and then Dane dodging the star. Pretty
Right,
good.
thankfully, we see the room fill up a lot quicker than last time, so we should get back into the action fairly quickly. Now the question becomes, will we see a 2-0 on the side of LV? We did call a 2-0 early on. Will the script be flipped and LV be the one inflicting a 2-0 onto VC instead?
We'll see, but I think my VC boys got it this time. I think this match VC's gonna win.
All right, well, hopefully no caster curse is involved just yet, and we can see a full-on BO3. I will say though, I do think that thankfully at such a high level, the mental game shouldn't be too much of an issue. I do think any of those teams like D3 upwards can get back up from like a match one deficit. So I don't think we'll see any crash and burns, so to speak, on the side of VC.
Yeah, no, definitely not. And especially VC's mental on this side, they're like, okay, we lost a match, we need to win, or else we're out. Like this is it for us. And since like obviously this is playoffs, it's gotten to a point where like they've already made it this far and like they have to go all in. They can't be like, oh, we're just not gonna win. Like right now they're focused. They're like, okay, we need to lock in. We need to win this.
DDR on both sides? Now that's something you don't see every day.
Uh,
I'm
yeah.
not sure what the hell is on VC's side there.
Maybe one of the teams forgot that they were host.
Well,
That's probably the issue.
LV's currently hosting, so that's quite a blunder by VC if that's the case. Yeah, LV's just hosting match 2, getting their first race pick for free. We'll have to see if Ivan can keep that first going into the sand hop. We know there's a lot of lag shenanigans that can happen there. Thankfully, none of it happening. Not backing that green instantly, blocking the red onto the pokey. That's quite a good position here. Derek joining him in the top 2. They're already having a pretty decent spot. Dane's battling for that second place spot though. Maybe a back green onto the end of that wall glitch. It is going
But
to connect.
I think he connects with one of the baggers though. So but B Boy's in last
I
because
think
of
that's
it.
what happened. Unfortunately, he connects with his own bagger. Maybe gonna try and head out.
Oh,
Nice
snipe!
bananas.
That's good snipe. But yeah, I think even though like it took out Dane as well, like it's gonna be pretty good for Edge. You know, he's gonna get up there and be in first with Ken and pull another golden.
Actually, Sane, Ken, and Edge being in top 3 there, so having a really commanding lead so far. And they have a pretty decent break over fourth. Nice try for the Nana Snipe onto Ken. It's not going to connect.
Oh
So
yeah.
as long as we don't see any big Ultra Takers on this, and Derek gets backed as well. So as long as we don't see any big Ultra
Oh
Takers, I believe VC should at least have this so far or until the next shock is called.
yeah, one of the baggers fell off. I can't tell. I don't know if it was Brody who lost Bill there. We'll see
I
soon.
believe not. Yeah, we will see it really soon. Brody is in 9th.
Yeah, so he did lose Bill there, and B Boy's in 10th. Pretty good
Really
for
good.
VC, and
Yeah,
since they're top
absolutely.
3.
If you can
Yeah.
secure shock there, you're pretty much guaranteed a winning race at the very least. I believe they're top 4 so far.
Oh, they
There's
pulled Pow and
another
Blue.
blue. The classic tale of Ken getting blued once again. And
Oh,
he dodges it though.
yeah, dodges it.
Alright, so now it's either a last second shock by LV or VC should have this. Finally catching a break after all of this. Will we see anyone taking the ending cut? Let's change POVs real quick.
Oh,
Dane
Dane.
gets up
Oh,
there.
top 4. Was that?
No, I believe Ivan caught
No,
up.
never mind.
Ivan caught up to 4th, but that's top 3-5 on the side of VC. That DDR pick definitely.
Oh wow.
Well, we called it a blunder, but maybe it was a blessing in disguise.
I think they knew what they were doing. I think they wanted to pick DDR just to be like, okay, we're gonna trick them out. We're gonna pick DDR. And be like, why are we picking DDR? But
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking.
Hey, you never know. The mind games, they might just be enough. And yeah, that is top 3-6 actually. Psycho also getting ahead of Sane at the end of it, but that's still a really huge race if you're VC. And the first time I believe that they're ahead since the start of this BO3.
Yeah, very good from VC. Even though LV pulled Bao and Blue there a wall glitch, I think LV needed the shock though, but yeah, VC was able to get up there again after lap 1 and control the top spots after Ken and Edge goldening.
Yeah, both of them just managing to take Ultra there. Not really, I haven't seen really many Ultra takers on the side of LV. I'm not exactly sure if there's just the roulette was not in their favor or if they didn't really have the opportunity to do so. But just VC managing to back out Derek as well, who was sending them in fourth at the end of lap 2 and just staying up there the entire time, dodging that blue shell. Ken finally being able to fight back against LV's constant onslaught of blues. And hopefully they'll be able to chain into BCWE to keep that momentum going that they desperately need after such a beatdown.
Yeah, no, definitely if VC can get their pick here, it'd be pretty good for them.
We'll see. Gardens was picked race 2, so maybe we'll see a repeat. No, we already see a divergence, and there's BCWE. Surprisingly, for the first time in this war.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the first time we're seeing BCWE. Another thing, Ivan's pretty good at making Shuma's glitch, so they definitely need to block it.
Oh, that's an interesting tidbit to know, but he burns out immediately. Let's switch POVs. He's going to be stuck in the back for quite a while. So it should be still top 3 on the side of... Oh,
Oh, but
never
a
mind that
bonk.
bomb snipe!
Early bomb from LV, I'm pretty sure.
VC now
And it
in
looks like
bottom 3.
they got two of VC out from that bomb. And
I believe it was...
is that another bomb?
Not exactly sure. It's such a chaotic mess. Not exactly sure who's in which spot, really. We do see a lot of
Yeah.
people going for right side. Maybe some blocks coming out immediately. No cut takers just yet. Ivan, are we going to see that glitch? It is going to be
Oh
taken really
no.
high.
Wow, that's a really good glitch. But in the other POV, we see Dane passing TC to his teammate, and looked like there was like some miscommunication there.
Quite unfortunate. Yeah, let's switch POVs. I believe Ivan should stay into first for quite a while. Actually, never mind. Sane getting up there with the bill there.
Yeah, he's forced to use Bill because of the power there.
Have to see. Brody is in non.
Oh,
Oh
oh,
my
that was
goodness.
niche.
That was really niche on the side of Sane. Good job there. Gets Ken into third, and Psycho's going to eat that TC into fifth. VC really pretty much front and half of the pack right now. Ivan, will we see a second glitch being taken? We do see
Oh,
Ken.
yeah,
And
Ken
holding
keep it
a...
in Mega, but he's gonna use Mega here to
Yeah,
because
try
he
and
has
hit
to
out
get.
Ivan possibly. Actually, no. Devil is also in a Mega, but it was forced by him. It was forced onto him by the POW. But yeah, I do. Sane getting head outs as well, but maybe with that POW. So Ken now the only one up there. LV in 1-3-4. Devil trying to get a Truman out, and he does do so. Top 2-4.
Oh, but
And
Blue coming in
on
play.
the side of Ivan.
Yeah, Derek's gonna get blued and comboed, and
Oh,
Devil's gonna
nice
be up here
round.
first.
Nice round on the side of Ken as well. Derek not getting comboed, but Ken is up there. Devil fighting for his life, trying to make sure back as tight as possible, gaining as much time on those double reds. But Glitch is not going to be able to be blocked. Maybe Ivan is able to take it again.
Yeah, it looks like I think Brody has the shock. He's going forward, and
Choosing
he's
not to
gonna
go for it. Devil is blued. Will we see a cancel? Is not the
no.
case. Ken gets into first.
Oh, I've been hitting the fireball there. Oh, that's gonna cost him.
That cost him quite a bit. Brody not hitting the Nana. With
Oh, and
Devil
Ivan's gonna get redded
avoiding it as
again, I
well.
think. Yeah.
That is
Wow.
1-3-4-5.
Bottom 2 for LV.
It's either 1-3-4-5 or 1-3-4-6 on the side of VC, but that's that's another winning race. That's well, for once we were talking a lot about LV getting a lot of blues during match 1. It seems like the tables have turned finally. It felt like 2 or 3 blues on the side of VC, maybe.
Yes, I think Mr. Bean's controlling this match now.
Gotta say though, amazing green on the side of Sane there.
Yeah,
It is
I want to talk about the start though. It looked pretty chaotic. I looked like there was like 2 bombs within the first 30 seconds of the race. I don't think I've seen that, especially on BC Wii. Bomb at the start, and then I think there was another bomb on Ken that
yeah,
I
the first
wasn't
one
able to see.
the first one he heads Dane and Edge at at like the first straightaway. And I believe the second one hits a member of LV as well as Ken. I'm not exactly certain, but yeah, created a big back split, which Ivan was able to fix up a bit with that first glitch. I'm not going for Shroomless glitch. We were talking about it, but choosing to not go for it and maybe not paying off quite a bit. Only able to get second here. Psycho barely able to patch up the team's gaping wounds this race, but that's a nice commanding lead of 38 points in just 2 races.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think look, it was a pretty chaotic race, but I mean, we saw that snipe from Sane earlier. He just threw it off the wall and hit one of LV's members. It's pretty good. I haven't seen that one before in a while.
I believe it hit Ivan since it was our POV. And RBC is going to get chosen. VC just able to chain track picks right now, and hopefully it allows them to get quite a nice lead going into GP2.
Yes, definitely what VC needs. Since they're up there and they get the track picks, they're just going to be able to control the top spots unless we see some drafts happening from one of LV's members.
Devil not able to get it. That is top 2. Edge getting a draft as well. That is top 2 for VC. We do see Ivan in third. Maybe you're going to try and hit those 2 out.
Ivan does shroom up and get up there. It looks like 1-3-4 for VC. That's pretty good going into this turn. And does get it back on Ivan.
Nice Nana tight there. And that should be VC keeping those top slots for quite a while. We were talking about it last match, but Psycho actually shrooming up. Not sure if it was triple shrooms or anything, but breaking into that top 3 right as we were talking about it.
Ooh.
Green into the spiral should not connect onto Ken, but might be worse for wear later. Back
Good
not
attempt.
connecting onto anyone.
Yeah, and TC coming in from Edge. Oh, but he's gonna be able to probably pass it to Psycho. But Ken does get TC or get TS from first, and it
Ken
looks
gets
like an LV
TS.
shock.
Psycho dodging that perfectly on our other POV. And now Ivan is into first with that TS into the rail there. Really early shock on the side of LV, but considering the way that this track works bagging, I'm not too surprised. If you get that shock early, you either use it lap 1 or you just keep it on until lap 3. And with LV being this far in the back, they needed this.
Yeah, and one of LV members got TC there in third, so it's gonna be good for VC to catch up again. Maybe we could see a side red happening.
Not going to connect it, but just a little bit too far. That Shroom is going to allow him to get close to Ivan at the very least. Hopefully not too close. That spiral can be devastating when it comes to back.
Yeah, it looks like Ken is playing safe right now. He didn't want to shroom up early, but he's definitely going to try to challenge Ivan soon. Probably going to block rail. Oh, the POW coming in. That's good VC POW.
POW.
That's really good.
Ken. Great bump on the side of Ivan.
But he gets wheelie bump, yeah.
Derek
another LV shock.
That's a second shock for LV in 2 laps, pretty much. And now Derek and Ivan in top 2. After Ivan well, I'm not sure how much of that was intentional, but did get the wheelie bump onto Ken there, keeping a second place. Great avoidance by Ken so far. Sane right behind him. Well, we see maybe a fifth snipe into that straightaway here. It is an attempt. It is not going to connect, unfortunately. Second one. Nana connecting. Sane having to go a bit wide. Psycho getting a lot of time on him. That's now top 3 for LV going into the last leg of the race.
Oh, Sane's going to get up there with the Mega. Ken got TC there. But does pass it to Devil, though.
Pass it to Devil, but yeah, Ken is pretty much
gone. Oh my god.
Really scary there. Top 3 for LV going into the last straightaway. We are gonna see a last shot being called by VC into the set.
Yeah, maybe Ken can pull some shrooms to get up there, but POW does happen, so no one really got affected by it.
I'm not even sure who got second or third here. Really close pack at the end with that POW as well. Maybe T-powing one of the members taking rail. Not exactly sure of the POVs. I still think LV got a decent race overall. Not sure just how good with that last shock though.
Yeah, definitely. I think LV pulled 2 shocks from RBC, but yeah, it looks pretty close. VC was up there at the start. We got some drafts going on from Edge and Ken, but they got shocked, and looks like they got top 3 because of it.
That's top 3-6. So yeah, Ivan did get passed, but that was by a teammate. That was by Psycho. That last shock, unfortunately for VC, not doing as much as they needed. Maybe not getting the power items they needed into the set there. LV still had quite a decent break going into into that last corner there. Sorry. So yeah, LV finally managing to catch a break into that third race. Still down 17, but you definitely needed a bit of a breather going into the end of that GP1.
Yeah, definitely. And well, I mean, it's still close. It's not like anyone's game yet, but from what it looked like so far during this match, it looked like VC is up there for the most part, and LV is just trying to get up there with Shock. But
Yeah, the 3 shocks on RBC is definitely a rare sight, maybe 2 at most.
yeah,
But
I don't think I've seen that in a while, if anything.
But LV used that expertly, just needing those early shocks to get up there and managing to keep those top spots in the end of lap 3. So good call by them, not being scared of using those mid-race shocks.
Yeah, definitely. I want to see some LV swerving, try to deny VC to get up there.
We
It
do
looks
see
like
some
Ivan's
swerving
doing
from
that.
Ivan.
We'll see who runs from VC side. Looks like
Ooh,
Ken and Sane are gonna be running.
Dane
Ivan's gonna
bumped
be
it.
dropping on the other POV.
Dane bumped into the corner a little bit. Also, Sane being bumped as well. So now LV being able to run freely in top 2. Bomb
Oh, this
snipe.
bomb can be huge. Oh, barely
Great
misses
blow by Derek.
Derek. Oh,
That's scary. Okay,
oh,
we're fine.
okay.
We're fine. We're bumping Sane around, Sane around a little bit, but that's not gonna be enough. Edge getting up there with a golden, but now he's well, not really. No, I was about to say he smacked them in the middle of
Oh, the
everyone. And now
bomb. That
great
was a good
back bomb by
play.
Derek.
Great play by Derek. Yeah. And we see on our other POV, we got Ivan with the bill in 6. And B-Boy's on last right now, from what it looks like.
Yeah, VC now in bottom 2 off of that back bomb by Derek. Derek just having a great sequence overall, dodging that first bomb and then just managing to stay in the top spots until that
Yeah.
second bomb.
And I think, yeah, Brody got a box in 10, so it's still really close. I think both baggers are shrooming right now, so I don't think anyone has it yet. But still neck and neck.
Really close overall. Ivan choosing to go for the
Oh, but
dog.
Derek hits a nano, and then Ivan's gonna use a builder because he hits the dog.
It's unfortunate. You'd want to keep that bill for the lap 3 at the very least as a failsafe. But granted, your team is top 2-4. You have a pretty commanding lead, pretty tough pack split for RDS. It's expected really, but I'm not sure if the bottom spots of VC can really get up there. Decent T-Pow onto Ivan though, gets Edge really close to him. Maybe some schlag work on the side of Ivan can
Oh, he's
definitely do that
forced in
from
Mega.
Red. Forced in Mega, no shock being called just yet. Not sure if it's by pure lack of items. Great back onto Sane there. Unfortunately, Ivan not pulling any shrooms to take the cut. Edge might have pulled one though.
I think LV might have shock.
Probably just holding it for a really late call. Pow is going to be used into the set. Ivan not able to get anything. If there's a shock going to be called, it's later. Psycho got hit out as well. So Dane and Edge getting up there. That's 3-4. Late shock call preventing Derek from goldening up too much, I believe.
No, I think it was
Not
the
exactly sure.
opposite. I think it was Ken, preventing Ken from shrimming up because Derek was goldening at the end. But I don't know. It could be either one.
Yeah,
But yeah.
possibly. Really unfortunate bonk on the side of Ivan, I must say, on that dog. We saw that having to be forced into that bill. He wanted to hold on to it, I assume, for lap 3, making sure that's LV not sorry, that VC can't call a late shock. They do have it, but that's a 1-4-5-6. LV back in their form of match 1. I believe it is now close to tied.
I think VC should be up like 10.
Yeah,
I don't
close
think
to tied.
that wasn't a big race for LV, but also it was still it was kind of neutral. But yeah, I do agree. I mean, the bill there, like losing there, especially there, it's like not good. Like the bill's okay, but he's not gonna really gain much from it. The only thing that he can gain off is just by probably just taking the cut lap 3 or dodging towards the end. But even then, the holding the bill till lap 3, like he could predict the shock or like probably prevent the other team from using it. But yeah, it's not the biggest thing, but yeah, it's definitely probably the major thing that happened to Ivan throughout the race.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta consider you don't gain much time simply because everyone's taking double behind you, so you're really not getting any time on them by just taking the bill around. You're losing a lot of ground, and you just Ivan not able to pull anything else to get back up there. Psycho getting hit out, thankfully salvaging VC's race at that 2-3. They're down 12 going into GP2. No, they're up 12 going into GP2. Sorry, as Koopa Cape is once again chosen unanimously.
And by both, I'm telling you, it's either the 1-5 or 2-4-6-8. You know, it's one of those tracks.
Yeah, exactly. And not too many people waiting, one on each team, contrary to the previous match where we saw pretty much 4 people waiting at that first set. Bomb by Ken, not wanting to use it too early with Edge right in
He's gonna
front
try
of
to
him.
back the bomb on Ivan.
Yeah, bump side Ivan. Ivan thankfully able to barely dodge it
Oh.
tight. We do see Derek shrooming up there.
Can't miss in
LV's
a
in
box there.
LV's in decent spots. Edge actually hitting out a Nana, it seems like. LV now in 2-3-4. I'm not sure exactly who's in first. Definitely a VC member. Not exactly sure which one. You would assume Sane going from the. Oh, actually, Dane.
Oh, top 3 from
Maybe
LV.
Dane hit a lightning. Maybe got bumped into it by one of the baggers. Unsure.
Oh,
We'll
but
have to check for Ken's.
this pal's gonna be pretty good for VC. It's gonna get everyone after set from LV side, and they lose the Schumann ground green. So yeah, they can't take the cuts.
That might have been Dane. I'm not sure. Either that or his item didn't roll just yet. Ken's gonna be able to take that item, get into second, contesting Psycho there.
Oh,
Does
gets a
get the box.
box. Ivan does get a box though on his screen, so he's gonna get 2 boxes here instead of 1.
Green up. Does it connect? It doesn't. It hits the Nano though. That's
Gets rid of his
definitely what you
trail.
need.
Yeah,
Makes it a lot
but
safer.
Psycho does have another item though. He's gonna try to challenge him first here. Oh, but backs the fib on one of the LV members and does get him.
Great job by him. I believe it was onto Devil. And actually, Psycho, with those triple nanas, able to protect against whatever Ken has. But Dane
close
shrooms
draft.
up. Might have been a golden as well. I'm not certain. He did shroom up quite a bit. But yeah, Psycho no longer commanding this lead into the race. We do see Psycho and Ken both taking shroom, but Dane now in second. Psycho back in the lead. And that's an LV shock. Ivan dodging in a star, getting up there. Mid pack still fairly close between 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 6, 7, 8, but one of them is goldening up. Not exactly sure who just yet. We'll have to see. Ken pulling out
Derek,
those shreds. That's Derek, top 2 for LV here, but Derek might just get hit out there.
Oh, he's gonna get redded here.
Yeah, I'm not certain how you can avoid those, even with the wall rides. That is going to be. Yeah, there you go. Finally hits. A little bit of lag there. Ivan should secure first, maybe backing that red tide at the end to secure 2-3, possibly Dane. Pulling that TC at the exact
2-4 for VC.
That is 2-3-4. The Edge is shrooming up as well at the end. Quite the chaotic race overall, but it turns out decently for VC, even with that LV shock dodging Ivan. I don't think he dodged anyone else, really.
Yeah, no, VC was able to just get rid of Derek after him dodging. Ivan was just gonna get first anyway. He had star and 4, but yeah, like 2-3-4 there from Shock and Casey is pretty good for VC.
Yeah, 2-3-4-8, unfortunately, Sane not able to get up there in any capacity, but you still take if you're VC. And that's a winning race, and winning races in your spot is all you need. You don't need anything big, you just need to hold on to that lead for the rest of the war. And that's exactly what they did. I believe that is that probably winning race by like what 5-3-5, something along those lines.
Yeah, not the biggest of win races, but they'll take it. I was gonna say we like I'm on their team, but I'm not playing GSC.
Not currently, at the very least. But yeah, so 15 points up. Yeah, that's like win by 3, but that's really all you need. So VC probably gonna go for RWS if you had to be a betting man here. Actually, BC3 is also a pretty common option. MC3 for 1 bottom spots as well, pretty common. Oh, actually,
Yeah,
we're not sure what to pick on the set of BC, actually.
For VC, like they can either pick BC3. I mean, RBC was played Stadium, Parkway. That's another good one. Sherberland maybe Casey. There's a lot of 2-3-4 track picks, but they're not all bad. They're all good. They all have some sort of like, okay, they can get back up there with 2-3-4 or deny them from taking boxes because 2-3-4 kind of controls the boxes for the most part throughout the first lap.
Yeah, there's really different flavors of first denial, not really anything better or worse. And speaking of first denial, Ivan getting bumped out just a little bit at the start, but isn't going to be able to
but Ken gets the draft and does shroom up in the first again. Pretty good.
Ken getting into one, trying to bump out Ivan, and he does manage to destabilize him. Derek gets into second. Sane
Oh, I missed the box.
megging Ivan as well. Yeah, let's switch POVs onto Ken. Thank you. Ken gonna have to try and head out.
Ooh.
Derek does get his trail out. Unfortunately, not enough to get him out of first just yet. Maybe a nano snipe onto the bridge. Not going to be attempted just yet. We were just letting Derek keep his first because I do believe that another LV member is right behind Ken at the moment.
Oh, I like that back from Derek there.
Trying to get something out of there. Nana back not connecting. Fifth snipe not connecting. A lot of items being thrown out.
Yeah, it looks like Ivan having TC here in fifth. I don't think he's going to be able to pass the Sane unless he does somehow over here. And he does connect it to Sane. So it looks like Sane's going to be forced in Mega now.
Do you see on other POV Sane being forced in Mega? Gonna be able though to keep to get a good good support onto Ken here as he's now
Ooh.
into second. Misses the trick though. Psycho might be able to catch back up to him if he gets a red out or something along those lines. Derek's still gone into first. Another red.
Oh, it gets blown by the bagger though. I wasn't able to tell which one though.
Yeah, might be a pen depending on which bagger is it. Will keep you informed on that regard. But Psycho either way gets into second there, and now the situation looks a lot more dire for VC if a shock isn't pulled.
Yeah, and Ivan has a Mega in fifth here.
Do you see one of the baggers going forwards? It can't be an LV shock. You'd have to assume they would call it on Ken there. Blue called on Derek.
No,
Ken
I think
now second.
Yeah, VC has shock because they would have canceled blue right there from LV. Oh,
Green
all
snipe
close
attempt not going
attempts.
to connect. Ooh, a lot of stuff happening in the back there.
Oh,
I
and
believe
Edge gets fifth from dodging there at the end.
Edge barely edges out Devil there. Haha. Anyway, is 2-4-5 at the very least for VC. LV got 6-7 first, and I believe they got 1-3, 6-7. So still a decent race considering that VC had the shock. But yeah, either way, a really decent race from LV. Derek just got up there and stayed up there the entire race. We'll have to see which bagger 1-3-6-7 for LV. They're a decent race for VC still, but not the one you would want with a shock on a track with a TS as powerful as WGM.
Yeah, no, that's a +5 race for LV. So I mean, it's still pretty close. I mean, they're down 10, but going halfway through the match, it's literally anyone's game. It's been so
Right,
close for the most part.
a pen is called by VC, so we'll have to see where that evolves. Not exactly sure who got the pen just yet. Which bagger we'll have to see in the following minutes. But yeah, either way, pretty even race. LV winning that by 5 points. Just nudging towards the lead a little bit, not nearly enough to get up there, but really the match is close enough that those little races can absolutely add up as we enter the second half of the war.
Yeah, definitely. And we do see in chat right now in D2, it looks like they're going to be submitting a pen from VC. I think. Okay, so that was their other bagger. So their other bagger slammed Ken in the wall. So it looks like it's gonna be like a -5.
Should be yeah, bump to the wall is -5, bump to an item is -10, right? Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Something along those lines. Regardless, well, that means that 5-point race is totally invalidated as we go into Sherbet Land there. VC's track pick, Sane immediately shrooms up. Nice trail by Ken. Drives Psycho as well, chooses to go on the right side. Mega in the back. Pretty chaotic start to Sherbet Land so far.
Yeah,
Ken does get into first.
that drive was pretty good for Ken just because like it kind of like secures him in the top spot, but he gets bombed anyway from
Immediately
LV
bombed out.
and
And
comboed.
Mega as well. Let's switch POVs. I believe Ken should be in the back for pretty long. Yeah, comboed by Ivan. We did see Devil golden up as well.
Oh,
Derek has also hit out
another bomb.
another bomb. I think Devil might have gone Mega by his teammate there. Not sure what happened.
Oh,
And
blue coming out.
Blue's immediately
Oh,
called. Satan should get up there.
and with the other POV, Ken having a TC, it doesn't look like he's gonna pass it to the guy who got blued. Instead, he's just gonna run it. But if Sane's in
Yeah,
first right now,
Devil barely managing to dodge it as well. Ken's gonna eat up that TC into the third. Sane being the only VC member really up there. There's a pretty big split between top two and the rest of the pack. But I think Sane is pretty out of sniping distance by this point, so he should have a
he
fairly
is.
he should have a fairly decent one, unless that green connects.
No, it doesn't. And other POV edge was goalie in there, but he got hit out.
Yeah, probably switching POVs there should be a pretty clean run from those two in top two without anything to really go by. And right on time as Ken actually pulls a Mega in fourth. Could potentially break out that 2-3-4 that LV has managed to get themselves into. One of the baggers is going forward, not exactly sure who, or at least he's chaining in 10. Not exactly sure which bagger might have. If it's VC, it could be a really huge race there. Derek hits the Nana. Mega is used,
Oh,
and there's
yeah.
a shock immediately being used. That was a
VC
VC
shock.
shock indeed. Gets up there, gets the ground shroom as well. Is he able to pass Ivan? Actually, Ivan gets the edge over Sane there. Not exactly sure what happened. Just a bunch of bumping around, but Sane gets passed up by Ivan. So if Ivan can keep that first, that's still a pretty decent race for LV.
Or maybe if Sane can get this nano snipe on him. It was a close attempt. A bomb coming out from LV though. Is not going to connect with Ken. And Ken is going to keep his third place. So it looks like a 2-3 for VC.
2-3 at the very least. Not exactly sure who else is up there. I do think we see Psycho behind Ken, so it should be 1-4 at the very least for LV. So still a pretty neutral race overall for LV, even with the VC shock once again. They're able to just keep on. They're able to just keep those keep that first, keep those top spots even through VC shocks.
Yeah, I don't. And with Ken dodging there, he didn't really get like a good chain. I mean, they just got themselves in the set and Ken dodging, but he didn't really get much. If he got like triple streams, could have been up there with close to first and challenging Ivan there. But even then, it's still decent shock, whether or not if he didn't get a chain or not.
Yeah, that's 1-4-6-7 for LV. All you can ask for really with Ken dodging and Mega there, but not exactly sure what happened to Sane. Did he get possibly drafted after the shock?
Yeah, it looked like maybe Sane got bumped by Ivan. It looked close, but I feel like that's what it looked like on the POV that we saw.
Definitely looked like it's definitely, and refs unfortunately not giving us response on the pen just yet. So we're gonna have to wait a little bit before we put that on the table. So for the time being, VC up 11 now, barely winning that race. I'm surprised to see. I'm surprised to see that actually. 2-3-5. Actually, no. Yeah, 2-3-5-8. Actually, no. That does make sense if they get bagger points. My mistake.
Yeah, no, but it's still close. I mean, none of these teams got in like a big race so far. We just seen like neutral races like from both teams. Like there hasn't been like a top two or like a I don't know like a 1-3-4. It's always been like 1-5 and then something else or like it's vice versa, but not really anything big right now. But maybe this
Well,
race,
aside from the first two races, really, where VC got that big of a lead, but LV has been managing to chip back up, and we do see Ivan still into first after the cannon. There are no drafts being taken just yet. Red thrown out instantly. Ivan gonna probably manage to block that one. Bit of lag there, but he does block it.
And it looks like LV's members are gonna shrimp up and get up there early on.
Yeah, LV being three of the top four. Not exactly sure what just happened on the double. A lot of chaos going on. That's top three for LV. Ken fighting for his life in the middle of, pretty much in the middle of the Lion's Maw,
Red
and he
Psycho here.
does red out Psycho, gonna shroom away. Ooh, Nana barely doesn't hit there. And yeah, Ivan Devil have quite a small break in top two. If they can correctly double back the double cut there, I think they should just run scot-free.
Well, that's if B-Boy gets it here because he's in 10th right now. Brody hasn't barely just made strat now. So we'll see what
Oh,
happens.
you're right about that. Possible cannon shock. There's really big part. No backs on double at all. Pow.
Oh, good pow there. It's gonna be up there now with him. Really close now.
Great pow on landing as well. Keeps that shroom as well for the
He can
next
draft him.
cut.
That'd be. Oh, he's gonna
Ivan
shroom into
really
first.
scary.
Oh, but the Nana from Ivan last lap.
Oh, we'll see him wait.
But VC has shock. They're gonna go here.
Yeah, that's absolutely a call there. Ivan out of cannon, and Ken should just be able to get up there as well with those triple greens if he
Pulled
can
out
hit out
greens.
Devil, but he doesn't get the zipper. It's gonna be pretty close now. Devil might have gone and hit out already. Sane shrooming up. that's a really decent spot for VC now.
And some greens. Oh, it's gonna be close.
A lot of greens being thrown up, none of them hitting. Ken
That's an
doesn't want to
optical
risk
for
the
double.
double.
Yep.
Careful of the greens on landing. I think his teammate is right behind him.
Oh,
Oh, that's a really
the
dodgy last
driving.
turn.
Oh,
Oh, he hit the
the
double.
green. Oh my god. Okay, salvage. Yeah, they got top two.
I think Dane might have gone fourth off that as well, off that last green. That was
Oh my
definitely a
god.
salvage. That was a really dodgy last turn, but Ken just makes that work and gets that green off on Devil. If that's top 2-4 out of it, that's class.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah,
good shot. Really good shot pull by B-Boy overall, though. Gets Ivan out, and that's pretty much guaranteed top 2 by this point with Sane trimming up.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was a good shock. VC just got Ivan out of first.
No, Dane doesn't pass him, unfortunately, so that's only top 2, 5, 6. But considering the last 2 races you have, that's definitely a nice breather.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And yeah, now we saw a big race. Now, and then looks like VC's gonna be up by 24 without the pen. I don't know. Take a look at the rep chat. Oh, looks like -5.
One of the refs did rule that as a -5. We're gonna have to wait for a bit more than that before it's properly counted. But if it is counted, it should be up 29 for VC as we enter GP3. So just a few more winning races, and you're scot-free, and we can go into match 3 with a fairly good momentum on our side.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, if they can get the pen, it's obviously it's not a big pen, but it can matter towards the end, like you said earlier, from the start. These little things can add up.
Yeah, especially the funny thing is if the pen does occur, the Warriors gold mine race is pretty much erased because LV won it by 5 and they lose 5 out of that pen, so it's almost as if you negated that entire race, really.
Exactly. Yeah.
GV being chosen by LV, they need that reset, they need to catch back up, and we're gonna have to see if Psycho can put up as much of a masterclass as he did during match 1. Well, we see 2 more fails of the rock hop. Let's see it, folks.
What do you think? I mean, it's your turn now.
I'll say 1. I'll say just 1.
Okay, that's nice.
I'm confident. Regardless, though, Edge slowing a little bit, but gets his box stolen. Doesn't have anything in 8th right now. Gonna have to switch POV towards Ivan as he
Oh, but
tries to
Ken
red
doesn't
out
get
Ken.
redded.
Breaks out everything. So no shrooms on the side of Ken. That means, though, which is the important part. No one in VC's top 2 can take the cut so far unless Ken can pull one really late here.
I want to take a look at Derek real quick if he's going around cut. He did touch the 8th place box first set, so he's going around too. So there's a chance they could have Bill.
Yeah, and if they have Bill, oh, nice background onto Ken there. If they have Bill and Mega here, it can be really big if we decide to hold it late. Edge pulling a TC, having to Golden back up.
Well, it looks like one of the baggers is going to be in 10th now.
We can maybe switch POVs. Ivan should have a fairly clean run so far. Ken in 7th, pretty far in the back. But a lot of actually a bagger, Brody taking a TC there. A VC member falling off. Was that a VC member falling off? I do believe it was.
Yeah,
And
it looks like Dane missed it.
no one in VC able to take the cut. LV is going to be really far ahead at the end there.
Ooh.
Psycho taking Star Rock, I believe. Edge is the Edge and
Psycho's off.
up there.
This path is really good for VC though to prevent any of LV having shrooms. And there's a blue coming out from Ken.
Blue coming out from Ken. Mega on the side of
Really
Ivan.
good.
No shock being called just yet, and there it is.
Blue
right
cancel.
As I say it. Blue cancel and Ivan dodging in Mega. If Ivan gets a single shroom, he gets guaranteed first here. We'll have to see. And well, triple shrooms. Well, there goes my there goes my prediction. Regardless, it is going to be top 2 on the side of LV fairly freely there, unless a really late blue is pulled. Let's switch POVs for that most likely pretty chaotic ending. We do see a third person taking the cut is going to be Edge. Edge saying Ken in 3-4-5, managing to salvage that race even with the LV shock. Derek getting 6. 3-4-5-7 on the side of VC. For a GV with shock, you take that.
Yeah, and it looked like Devil dodged and Bill. So I thought Derek had touched the 8th place, and but I guess Devil pulled Bill later on throughout the race. I don't know when he pulled it, but yeah, it's good for the other bagger because they won't know that they have Bill, and also like they're able to get into 10th, and that's what LV did.
Yeah, exactly, and they're just able to capitalize on that. Top 2, 6, 8. Uh, well, granted, we do say GV was shocked, but they were pretty. LV's hand was pretty forced here. You had to call with Ivan being forced and Omega and Devil getting blued. That was your call or never. And Bronze Falls just didn't have a chance to catch up based on that.
It's kind of like it's still a decent shock. It's not the best shock, I'd say, because VC still has a chance of taking respawn. Like it doesn't really prevent them from taking respawn anyway, because there's still a couple sets before they can have a chance of taking it. But either way, it still worked out for VC because Devil just dodged in a high spot with Bill, and the Bill's gonna take him pretty far. And then yeah, it looks like Ivan got shroom. They won the race.
Yeah, that triple shrooms pull was all he only needed one shroom, the 2 extra just for free. Rainbow Road in top 2, bottom 2. That's an interesting choice by LV. Granted, we do see that they really like their Rainbow Road pick that we have seen, but I'm surprised to see it in such a polarizing position.
Yeah, and it looks like from the D2 chat we see another -5, so potentially it looks probably it looks like it's gonna be a -5 on the table now.
That is going to be called a -5 by 2 reps, so it should be a -5 for LV. So VC now up 34 going into that Gardens race. Ken slowing down a little bit, getting a box in 5. Shroom, that's all you need, really. Derek having a TC in second, going to try and pass it to Ken. He does manage to do so.
Yeah, good play by Derek there.
Yeah, Ken trying to slow a little bit, giving Dane a bit of a break in second, but LV surrounding Dane here. If a single red is pulled by Ivan, it could be disastrous.
Oh, the Nanas. Oh, they were close though.
Doesn't connect, unfortunately. Really close. Dane holding onto that and Dana might back it before the box. He does it. Ivan dodges. So far, pretty box standard race in top 3. Let's switch POVs before the cut here. We do see Edge with a star in 7. Pretty much the best item you could have here, chinning into the set and just getting anything else to take the cut. Ken goldening up.
Yeah.
Oh, we're choosing to
hold Edge is gonna opt to hold the star and go around. So chance that VC could have a shock.
One of the backers going forward. The other is in Bill. You would assume B-Boy has right now.
Yeah, that's what it would seem like.
Yeah, B-Boy in 10 after the Bill. Yeah, okay. B-Boy should have, and they're going to need it too, especially after the double back bomb.
Wow. Oh, maybe they call it, yep, then they call it shock right now. You're not going to get the best of chains, but at least it's something. But the triple reds.
That triple reds is really big. Sainus was the only one up there, and now with those reds, if you're able to time them well, you can maybe Red Devil before the cut. That's going to break really early throw by Edge there. Unfortunately, none of them connecting there. Devil managing to break it on the hedge. Ken taking the cut, and before Shrooms get immediately backed out, and back Sane as well.
Oh, wow. That's well played from LV's side.
Edge throwing those nanas away, scared of the lag, you would have to assume, but hits himself in the chaos. Psycho and Devil should not lose this first. Oh, never
that's
mind.
Gonna be really big.
Triple greens.
Oh, it's not gonna matter though, unless he combos him right now and throws the greens up.
Snipe these. He needs to snipe these.
Ooh.
It does not connect,
close.
Yeah,
that was very close.
Yeah, Psycho just had too much of a lead there. You had to take that snipe attempt by Ken, and unfortunately, that's just not enough. Derek gets 5th, and that's a good race for LV, even with that shock. That was a huge back bomb. I'm not even sure by who it was, but back bomb onto 2 of VC's members. It does catch Ivan in the blast, but it forces VC into a really awkward early shock. You can't take the cut. You don't gain that much time. Sure, you get a red off on... I'm not sure. I believe it was on Derek. You do get a red off on Derek, but you don't gain any time off that. Ken is able to take the cut, but that's it. Devil and Psycho are just able to keep that top 2.
Yeah, I think that was an LV bomb though. Even though it got rid of Ivan, I think getting 2 of them, two versus 1, it's still really good. And like getting rid of the dodges, like right there, like what you said, yeah, really good. Well played from LV though.
Yeah, overall, really commanding race by LV in just in terms of item play. Great backs by Devil as well at the start of lap 3, or start of lap 2, not exactly. I'm having a blank. Either way, Great double back onto two of VC members, making sure that they keep that top two going. And yeah, now they're down 17. Down 20. I'm not exactly sure. Have we counted the pen yet? Not exactly certain.
Oh, we did,
We
yeah.
have.
So
We have. All right, perfect.
yeah,
Thanks. So yeah, now down 17 LV going to the last two races. That's a lot more doable of a comeback than VC had.
yeah, definitely. I think what VC though needs is they just need a winning race. Like it doesn't have to be the biggest of races, but as long as they get a winning race, it helps with their momentum going on to the last race. So, but LV needs a big race too. If LV can get like a top 2-4, like that's what they need. We're gonna be
And that's
right back at
Rainbow
it.
Road being chosen finally after 2 wars of being picked almost every other race. It is finally picked by LV. Specialty track pick. We'll have to see if they can make it work. If they can get like you said, if they can get a winning race, the pressure piles up on VC and they have to strike big. So
Oh,
this,
but VC's gonna get up there. It looks so close from Ken's POV. We can switch over to that. Yeah, and he's gonna
yeah,
try to keep first or try to get B in first, but Devil's gonna get up there in first. It's really
he
close.
does he miss? I believe he misses the flip trick, so he's going to be
Oh, but he gets redded. Oh.
unfortunate fit pull, but could have maybe dodged that onto the hole. But VC now in 4-6-7 at the very least. Not exactly sure where the last member is. I believe Ivan is. Yeah, Ivan is in last, so the last VC member is still up there. Backing a fib, they're not going to connect. Ivan's still in a star by this point, and for now, LV having a pretty decent lead over the race. Both backers obviously going to have to sit there. Neither of them pulling the shrooms necessary to make the strat back. Can able to break that red. Not able to
Oh
break that pretty well
no.
before the shroom, before the moon hop though.
Yeah, but Dane's in first right now from VC's side, so pretty good that he's holding on to this is what they need. As long as he doesn't get hit out.
Ooh, that back green could have been close. Back bomb
Mhm.
onto Ivan, I believe, who was holding a golden as well, as we do see on
Oh,
the other POV. That's a big break on the side of VC. We do see Edge shrooming up as well.
I think yeah, he's trying to go for blue right now. So if Dane can, if Edge or any of VC can get blue here, that'd be really good. So that keeps Dane first, as long as they don't get shocked.
Yeah, I do think. I wonder if B-Boy or Brody. I wonder if Brody will opt to go for shock if they just want to keep this safe. Maybe trusting that they can get back into first on their specialty track pick. Dane
Oh, but
hits out a LV member. That's 1-3. Oh, actually no. Devil is in
that's
1.
top two. That's top two for LV.
Dane getting hit out and unfortunately hitting out one of his teammates in the carnage. So now. And also
No.
another back onto Dane as well. LV are just gone top 2 now. There's no need for a shock to be used.
Yeah, no, this is not good. I mean, LV's top two right now. Unless VC has shock, they can make a play soon. And
I'm not
Ivan's
exactly
holding a
sure.
mega in 6, but he loses
I
it
don't
to a
believe
bomb.
I don't believe the backers have gone for a box yet. No, no shock is going to be pulled yet. Ken avoiding that. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if he can hit out top 2 here. I think the point here is just trying to keep the mid
Oh,
spots here. We do see Ivan in a star. We see Derek in a star as well. Double stars there. If Edges hit out, this could be horrendous. Thankfully,
oh,
managed to hold
he's
on to
gonna throw
that
the
bomb.
bomb
Bomb
up,
snipe
but
up.
oh
Not gonna connect.
no, but he's gonna
Ivan
get
and
bombed
Derek get
and
up there.
lose time. Oh, the VC gets bottom
Super.
too.
Oh no, we were talking about winning a race. That's exactly what you need. That's top 2, 5, 6 on the side of LV. And now things are
Ooh.
tied up going into the last race.
Yeah, it's really close now. This is gonna come down to the wire. But what happened to Dane? I
Not
didn't see a
exactly sure.
blue. I don't.
I don't think so either. I think there was just a snipe on the side of LV and managing to get Dane out of first. But yeah, now LV down 4 going into the last race. If they can just get a track pick for a running track, they can just get this possibly.
Yeah, no, definitely.
This is really scary if you're VC right now. We were talking about it, the pressure that piles up now that you've had a race that you had control over top spots and you lose first and now you're just watching it spiral it all away. Thankfully you have one more chance to grab onto the handlebars, able to stabilize before a potential match 3, but this is now or never for LV. They need to capitalize right now.
Yeah, this is gonna be very close, and it comes down to this race. Um, I will say though, the shock at this race is going to be very important. Whoever gets shock is going to control the race. So if VC gets the shock here, they're most likely going to win the race since they're already top spots, and it's going to be harder for, or sorry, it's going to be harder for VC to get up there. But yeah.
Mushroom Gorge. Now there's a curveball.
Yeah, I think that's still it's good. It's a good pick. It's a good reset track, but shock is very like important in the track. If whoever gets the shock is going to control the race, like I said.
That's what I'm worried about. If you're already down, like if you're already down in terms of momentum, Mushroom Gorge, such a really shock-heavy track, and especially on Mushroom Gorge, where bagging can be a bit of a dice roll. You're risking a lot picking this, but who knows? Maybe VC knows something I don't.
Yeah, hopefully.
Right.
Edge gets hit out from the start, and Derek pulls triple reds. It's gonna be pretty good for LV. Same Forced and Mega.
Alright, Sane Force and Mega getting Psycho Force to slow down a little bit, but yeah, Derek Devil in 2-3 by this point. I don't actually Ken also getting hit out before shrooming back up. Let's see, chaining on the top spot gets a blue. That's a big pickup.
That's
You
gonna be
need
good
that
for
top spot.
them.
You need that top spot control, but that means you don't gain any time on the rest of your competitors. So you need the rest of your team to pull up here.
Yeah, it looks like Dane's gonna be golden and Sane taking the gap. I don't know if Sane could have more shrooms, but yeah, and Ken is holding blue and eighth from our other POV.
Psycho's taking the cut, gets bumped into the dirt by Sane. So Sane and Dane now in top 2 for VC with blue control. Red being thrown, not going to connect onto Sane.
It's
Nice
really good.
fight. Nice back green onto Ivan. Brody in 10th. Barely so. Barely so. Oh, B-Boy is still going backwards as well. Ivan's going to have that shroom for the cut.
It looks like Devil has another shroom. He's gonna take gap, but then he's gonna get blued because of it.
Yeah, blue's immediately going to be thrown on the side of Ken. You would have to assume Ivan is going to be alone in the front for LV. That
Oh,
No,
yeah.
actually, Devil
Oh,
had another shroom.
he dodges blue, yeah. This is looking really bad for VC unless there's a shocker blue happening again.
You need something along those lines, or you need pretty much every single one of your team to take cut. Great.
That snipe him out.
Great snipe by
But
Dane,
Sane
I
gets
believe.
hit by Derek.
Triple reds on the side of Derek there. That's going to be able to hit out one last member of VC as well. Blue
Oh, no.
being held on the side of Ivan.
Wait, is Ivan...
Does he fall off? No, he doesn't. Dane takes
No,
cut.
but but Dane gets first, I think?
Is that enough?
No, I don't think it's enough.
Certain. That's 2
No,
before.
it's not enough.
Psycho gets 6. I believe that is GG's, folks.
Yeah, that's not enough. I think VC got bottom 3, and like looks like LV got all the mid spots behind first, everything behind first.
Goodness, that was so chaotic.
Oh, no.
Devil having the triple shrooms that he needed to dodge that blue. We were talking about it since the start of the race. Ken holding it for pretty much nothing, and while Dane managing to pass Devil up, that's still 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. And that's going to be more than enough for LV to clutch up with 9 points ahead. Congratulations to both teams. Amazing match to watch. Heartbreaker if you're VC, though.
Oh, wow. That was a good try from VC side for sure. I mean, Sane had a snipe attempt there on one of the LV members, but yeah, then he got hit out. Very unfortunate. Looked like VC were almost back in it, but yeah, couldn't really get the win that they wanted.
Wow. Okay. Well, LV showing that they just have the mental fortitude. They were able, even with that early deficit and with that pen, they were just able to keep chipping away at that lead race by race, +5, +10, +5, and all of those just kept piling up, and that just showed at the end having control over the last race. You would assume that Brody might have. We didn't talk about it, but I assume Brody might have pulled shock. He was in 10, and LV were just in control the entire time, so there was no really need to call.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, like, yeah, if you get shock on the track, you either deny them from taking cut, or you just hold on to it for, for not them taking cut or whatever. But yeah, even then, it was still pretty close. Like, like on the runners POV, like everyone was just getting hit, everyone was making plays, people were getting up there. But yeah, kind of like it's one of those things where it wasn't on VC's side today.
Yeah, just a lot of chaos on that side. But yeah, just like you were talking about it earlier before the race. Just having that shock denial is really important. That last race, having the control over the shock, guaranteeing that there's no last second ass pull that either team can pull, and that's just the end of things. But yeah, VC just not able to capitalize on that early, and it shows really.
Yep, definitely. Pretty unfortunate, but still, it was still pretty entertaining. Like the two matches, definitely. Like the match 2 was really close. I mean, throughout the whole entire time. So, but yeah, match 1 pretty unfortunate for VC.
Yeah, we mentioned overall really close match, really close match 2, and still really interesting races at match 1. So overall, really interesting matches on both sides. But yeah, LV with a score of 2-0 will be the ones facing ZC in the Division 2 finals. We'll have to see when that is scheduled, but we have plenty more semis to play in the meantime. Not exactly sure when those will be scheduled, but hopefully we'll be able to cast a few more before the finals come up.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna be a good match for sure. Like, I think any of those two teams can win. I mean, even though LV 2-0'd VC, it's still pretty close. I mean, even throughout the division, like VC did beat LV in regular season, but even then, it can go anyone's game. But we'll just have to see.
Yeah, either way, once again, congrats to both teams. Congrats to LV for winning the match. Really entertaining matches overall. Thank you for everyone that has watched both of those matches. Thank you, Casper, for commentating alongside me. It has been a pleasure.
Yep, likewise. Thank you for casting with me too.
No worries, and I believe this will be all for us today, folks. Have a really nice evening, and hope to see you for more casts of GSC.
Yes. Bye bye, guys.